But here we go again, yeah. I'm going strong again, yeah. I'm going long again, and I'm going hard. And here we go again, yeah. I'm going strong again, yeah. I'm going with the wind, and I'm going long. Hey, like a Hail Mary, full of grace. Cup is full, like my plate. Life is good, life is great. Hey, hey, don't wake me up. I got that dog in my cup, drowning out all of my fuck.
Welcome back, everybody. This is another episode of Park Car Talks. I am your co-host CJ here with Zachary, and next to Zach we have our beautiful guest, the one and only Isaac. How's it going, Isaac? How are you doing today?
Good, bro.
Doing good. All right. Yeah. I wanted to have Isaac on here because he's a aspiring photographer coming out of the Austin area. We actually worked with him at HEB not too long ago before you became a full-time or wanting to become a full-time photographer. So just kind of wanted to get you on, talk about how how you are, where you are right now in life, kind of your upbringing and everything like that. But before we get into that, thank you to everybody for watching and listening on YouTube and all the streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Don't forget to rate us a 5-star on all those streaming platforms. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that Noti bell, you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Join that Noti gang,
Gang, gang.
Noti gang, gang, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Peter Peer.
Shout out love.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody. We really do appreciate the love and support. We actually did hit 100 followers.
Are you going to mention right now? Because as of this recording, we have 101 followers.
As of March 8th, we officially hit 100 subscribers yesterday when we were actually flying. We're on the plane coming
First
back.
class rich guy.
We're coming
flying,
back from San Diego. So we saw that we had 100 followers. So I was like, all right, bet. We'll be doing a giveaway. We'll post a giveaway on Instagram soon. So for anybody that wants to get one of the Park Car Talk hats, the green one, the little OG colorway, you know what I'm saying? That will be coming soon.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna enter.
Yeah, I got you. Just wait on it. That's coming soon. Appreciate all the love. Like I said, thank you for allowing us to get to 100 followers. Hopefully the next thing could be 100 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 eventually, but 100, baby steps, we'll get there. But as of right now, just like I said, I want to say thank you to everybody. Sorry about not posting this past week. We went on a little trip, so a little birthday trip for me. And
you show the viewers your shirt.
Oh yeah. If you can't see, it's a little SD San Diego. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? Had a little boys trip with the gang. Shout out to Cayman, Braxton, Cam, Carlos, Zach, Alex.
Hey, all y'all went?
Jack. Yeah.
How many people is that?
We had 7 with us.
And all individual flights.
Yes, bro.
Oh.
Why are you lying? 5 of us flew in.
Anyways,
Man,
but yeah,
we had a whole. I sent a screenshot of my flight. Just a heads up.
Oh,
sent my whole screenshot of my flight, so you could have been like, "Oh, let me book that one."
Yeah.
But hey, show them the bottom of your shirt, like what it says.
Oh.
That different tax bracket. What it says in small letters. It says
Pacific Beach.
It says I'm rich, bitch.
Ooh. That's hard.
Oh,
that's hard.
Wow.
Sheesh. But yeah, went on a little weekend trip for the birthday. So sorry about not posting. That was kind of like the first. We recorded something, but just didn't get the time to edit, and I was just trying to enjoy the vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were talking about it whenever you had came a little earlier, and we were just chopping it up. Like, we're just talking about like how in what the things that we were wanting to do with our life and career and stuff. Like, you kind of got to be able to balance like the working all the time and wanting to enjoy life while you can, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of this past weekend was kind of just like a chill mode, hanging out with the gang and just enjoying the time, we were at, just because it was in a different state and stuff like that. So Sorry about that. I mean, it won't happen again. I promise. We have videos that I'm wanting to record soon, and
I
just trying to be
I
consistent
wouldn't
with
even
it.
apologize.
Yeah, I was like, I think they understand. It was your birthday. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I understand you're trying to be on your grind. I get that. I said, but at the same time, I was like, it was your birthday. Like,
True, but yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm just trying to get into a point where like people can expect a video every Monday, regardless. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
fair.
because I've done it up to this point. So yeah, it was my birthday, but it was just something personally. You know what I'm saying? But you know, not saying it's not gonna happen again, but I'll try not to let it happen again. You know, just try to do.
Then you gotta rewind the video to where you said it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we gotta chop that out. But so yeah, this is kind of like we're recording on Tuesday. We just got back on Sunday, or my bad. I just got back yesterday. We all just got back yesterday, actually. So this is kind of like
like y'all got back today actually.
yeah, we got back at 2 a.m. So I was off today,
Hard
but
worker.
you know, hardworking man over here. Shout out to the
Bring
boy.
home the bread.
Why it makes the big
Yeah,
laps.
always.
Someone's got to.
But
Yes, sir. It sound like a diss though.
yeah. But yeah, so just doing that now, recording your episode. So thank you again for coming along.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Coming on the podcast. Like I said, this has kind of been. I definitely hit you up a while ago, just try to plan something because I know you're busy with your schedule and everything you got going on. So I was
Never
like,
too busy, bro.
you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, let me hit him up because you know, just like you, when I was talking to you when we were working together, just you as a person, like I was like, this is like a good dude. Like he's genuine. He's just he's grinding. He's doing what he has to do to, you know, get to where he wants to be in life. And I was like, from when I first met you, I was like, yeah, he's cool. So you know, I just wanted to make sure, just you know, just keeping tabs on you, seeing how you been, and like, you know, like I said, you know, like how we said we went to San Diego. You had just went on a trip that we'll talk about later on and see exactly what you had going on over there. But
Yeah, this man's very humble. Yeah. 'Cause,
yeah,
Who, me?
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, we'll talk about where he went in a little bit, but like
Okay.
when I first met you, it's like you're doing maintenance HB. I was like, and like, bro, every time I talk to you, like you're always like chill, down to earth, like it's kind of cool. It's like that. 'Cause I mean, like some people like you like talk to like. Have you seen Sausage Party? Where the guy was like, he's like, I fucking hate my job. I was like, some people like around there are just like that, but like talking to you is like, it's pretty chill. It's cool. Like you're always in a
bro.
good mood, so I fuck with that.
I mean,
So.
for sure.
Yeah.
but yeah, getting more into you, pause. Getting more into you as a person. Who are you exactly? Who is
shit.
Isaac?
Bro, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't. But my name's Isaac.
hi Isaac. How's it
I'm a
going?
photographer.
Yes, sir.
21 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
Fresh.
Based
You just
in
turned
Austin.
21.
Yeah, I turned 21 in October.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, pretty.
Several months out.
Yeah, 21 years old. You say you're from Austin?
I am from Austin.
Okay.
Born and raised like 30 minutes north of Austin.
Okay.
Round Rock, Hutto, Pflugerville.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all know.
That's what I
Y'all
was gonna
know.
say. We're all from Pflugerville, so
Yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah.
We already know.
Yeah. I have to tell people that because most people are from like California and like New York and shit like that.
Yeah,
So
and they're
they
like,
have no
what's
clue.
a Pflugerville?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, I
And they're like, how
understand.
you spell that? And
No.
it's- I gotta tell them it's a PF, and they're like, what?
What?
It's the
Yeah.
weird- yeah, you know.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, born and raised in that area, and then I kind of claim Austin now since I moved. And
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, shit. I'm not gonna lie. I do the same.
Yeah.
Just because it's like,
just claim Austin.
yeah, I would say. I mean, I live in Austin now. I think we all damn near live in Austin now. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, but even if like you grew up like we said like 30 minutes from Austin, people are still gonna be like, oh, you're not from Austin. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
all right, well, technically, I guess not. But like majority of the time, if I tell someone that like I'm from Austin, they'll just be like, oh, okay, cool. Like you know what I mean?
Okay,
Like they're
for
just
sure.
like, oh, like I know where that's at. Like
Yeah,
majority of the
yeah.
time, it's just like a just like conversation type
Yeah.
of thing, you know, like
Yeah.
more than likely they're not, unless they're from the city themselves, they're not gonna, are you really from Austin? You know
That's
what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, like if I know someone's an Austinite, I never say I'm from Austin.
Yeah.
Because then I
'Cause
gotta
then
like
you
hold
know.
the conversation. I'm like, I don't know where this and this is.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know streets. I don't
Yeah.
know the spots to go to. And then
Nah, yeah.
They'll realize real quick I'm not from Austin.
From
They're gonna be like, where are you actually
Like,
from?
oh,
Yeah,
like,
like,
you
you're
just
not
moved
really-
here.
Why is he lying about that?
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So,
But yeah, no, so like I said, I just wanted to get to know you more as a person, have our audience get to know you more as a person. So you say you're from like the Pflugerville area. Did you grow up there your whole life, or did you move there at a young
Yeah.
age? Or
I think I was. So I went to school in some school in Round Rock, like through elementary, and then I think we moved to, or I say we, me and my family and I, we moved from that spot to our spot in Hutto.
Okay.
And then I went to Kelly Lane Middle School in Pflugerville, and then Hendrickson. And then, so stayed in that house
Until you moved out?
until I moved out, bro. Yeah, so I don't know how long
Where'd
that
you
is.
move out to? Mind me asking.
That's federal, I'm joking.
Yeah. Are you the
You the
feds?
fifth?
He DJs loud over here.
For real, though. Nah, I live in Chevy Chase Apartments. It's like right on the intersection of I-35 and 183.
Oh, okay. I thought you moved to like different city. That's what I was asking.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah,
no.
I was like, where'd you move out to? Like,
Nah, I live in Austin still.
okay, no, that's badass.
Okay. He said he's
Yeah,
like,
from here I'm not.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
you know
easy.
what I'm saying?
Hey, you apartment hopper or?
yeah, it's a hop and skip away.
Facts, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
nice
Yeah, like I
world.
said, you said born and raised in Pflugerville pretty much?
for the most part,
What,
yeah.
what was your experience in Pflugerville? Did you like it? Was it?
Pflugerville was cool, bro. I think. I mean, at the time, even now, I was very much so like in my own world.
Really?
So I wasn't like. I feel like I didn't experience middle school like a lot of people did, but I was there. And
Yeah.
so I saw shit. It was.
Were you like in sports or?
I was in sports, but I wasn't like super good at it. So
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, you just like were you in sports just because like you think your parents like kind of forced you to, or
Nah.
was it just because like all your friends were in sports?
Probably more so that.
Okay.
I think my dad like he offered that as like as a route,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I ever was like, Dad, I want to play football. But
Yeah.
I think at one point he was like, Yeah, you want to try football out? And I was
Yeah.
like, Cool, yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
Why not?
sure. Why
And
not?
so I was playing football at Pee Wee. Shout out to Pee Wee Panthers.
you know what I'm saying?
But and then I kind of carried that into middle school because I had some friends who were part of the Pee Wee program who went to
Middle school,
Taylor Lane,
yeah.
did the football thing. And so yeah, I did football and I did track. I had a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends through those things. And so
In middle school?
in middle school, yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I was taking all the advanced classes and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it was weird because like I would have my friends in the sports, but not a lot of them were in the
In
the
your
super
class.
high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had friends who did sports and then friends who were like super nerdy. It was like no
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your middle school experience, I guess, besides the sports, were you doing anything else in your free time? Were you like gaming, or were you going outside being a little baby kid? Like you know, like what, you know?
I was a good kid growing up.
Okay, weren't getting in any trouble.
Not really. I think the
Same.
most trouble I got in was like talking back to teachers
Okay.
and then talking in general.
Yeah.
And then selling candy, which I wanted to get into a little
Oh, young entrepreneur over here.
You're a young entrepreneur in middle school.
bit. Yes, sir, bro.
You're one of them kids.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I
You're
was
about
that
your
guy.
money.
I was that guy, bro.
I see.
Funny story. I went to a church event on October 30th, I think. It was like they're trying to do like the little like the alternative Halloween thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't go to Halloween if they're Christian, right?
Yeah.
And so I was destroying all the games, bro.
Yeah.
I was getting candy after candy after candy, and I didn't even eat it. I wasn't even like a big candy eater.
Yeah.
But then I had the genius idea of like, why don't I just
Sell it.
wrap all these candies together and sell them as a package? My number one seller at the time was Poporindo. It was like these popsicles, like the Mexican popsicles.
Yeah.
And they were small. But I did like 5. I wrapped 5 with rubber bands. Rubber bands that I took from a rubber band ball that I made at like 7 years old. I was just like
You're just making
wrapping it. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
huge too. But anyway, I was selling them as packages. Like
Yeah.
you get 5 for $1.
Okay.
And so I was selling at the
You
back of the
smart
class.
as fuck. I feel that one. I give you that. That's smart as fuck.
That man was on the ground.
Yeah,
I
for
see
real.
it.
All the time, bro. Now I think about it.
Yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, I was selling them, and then I was using that money that I got from that to buy candy at HEB, and then because at the time it was 68 cents, and so I'd sell that candy for $1, make like what 33%
Yeah,
profit
Yeah.
right off the bat, bro.
And
And
then-
I knew to go to HEB because they got the cheapest prices. They would have little coupons.
Shout out
Shout out to HEB,
Shout out
bro.
to HEB.
You used to have the coupons, so I would do that. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like taking customer requests and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
Like, what do you want?
Huh? What do you say?
You'd be like, what do you want? I got you.
Yeah, what you want?
What you want? Yeah.
Or they'd be like, oh, you sold out of this, and then I'll take note like, oh, I need to get more of this.
Yeah.
Like sour Skittles were crazy. Takis were crazy. That's probably my number one seller.
Takis.
The little mini bags.
Hell yeah.
I would charge $2 for that because it was more expensive. But I was like, yeah.
You a young businessman. I see you.
like,
Okay.
Bro, so much so that they had to shut it down, which is why I got in trouble. Because I was making money, bro. I think I made like at least $1,000 in middle school.
In what grade was this?
This was
Like
7th.
Like a week or
Like a semester, we'll say.
That's
not bad
for a
for-
7th grader, bro. Any type of money is good.
At all, bro.
It's like, saving up for that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But I bought a TV.
Bro, TV.
My dad introduced me to the pawn shop where you can buy shit on layaway.
Yeah.
Got a nice
Got my
ass
little
TV.
And as soon as I got that TV, then teachers started to catch on.
Really?
And for some reason, they had a problem with it, and so they shut it down.
They didn't want to see you winning, bro.
And I was still trying, of course, because I was like, bro, I'm used to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This boy in middle school, fucking trapped out here.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, like
I'm used to a certain lifestyle.
I'm used to
you know?
buying the games I want, the TV,
Hey,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? But they're like, nah. And then I got in trouble for that.
How'd that conversation go? Like, I'm wondering, like, how did like the whole lead up of them like saying like you gotta cut this shit off? Like, how did that go?
Like, did you get caught or like what? How did they find like? How did they know you bought a TV? Were you telling like?
They didn't know that, but I think
Okay.
that was around the time they started to catch on. Like as
Okay.
soon as I got the TV, maybe I was acting different. Maybe I was getting a little. maybe I was bolder or something like.
You was talking back to him a little more. you know what I'm saying?
But nah, I think they just saw a transaction one day and they're like, oh, I just saw a dollar bill come from there. Oh no, you know what it is, bro?
Let's hear it.
Every Friday they had a candy like table right outside the door.
business.
I was taking their business. I remember that. I remember that being a thing, bro. It was actually
Like they
a
were
thing.
selling candy on some
They were
like
selling
for the
candy.
school type, and they were like,
and
man,
saw
no one's
me
buying
doing it. Yeah, and I
one's
think they were
buying
raising
our
money for something.
Yeah.
So maybe now in hindsight, I'm thinking maybe they thought I started after them, and I was like trying to take away from their.
kind of knock off the competition.
Yeah, and they were supporting foundations and stuff like that. So like this kid's like super selfish. Like he's trying to get in on profit, but you know.
He taking it
Nah,
on
you was just
turf.
trying. Yeah, you.
But I
got
was there first, bro. I was there first.
They're
but
take away your business.
my business, bro.
Sheesh.
My TVs, my games.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
That's actually a really good story.
You know
Wow.
what's the funny thing about now is like if it came after you, then they probably took the idea from you originally.
They might have.
They're like, oh, this man making money. Like, let's take his idea. They took
might
some
have,
middle
bro.
schooler's idea. Like, they're like, yeah, he's making money. We can't let that happen.
Yeah, they definitely. Somebody must have saw something, bro.
Yeah.
Had
They
to.
had all the same snacks.
Wait, so the principal called you
That
into
wouldn't be
like
just like
his
you,
office
bro.
or their office and was like, hey, like you can't be doing this anymore, or like.
Nah, I don't think they made it a big deal. I think someone just pulled me aside and was like, "Yo, we saw you doing this. Can you just stop?"
This is my territory, bro. You gotta go.
Yeah, they're like, can you stop doing that?"
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, "Yeah, sure." But the next day I was like, "So." Then I tried to do it low key, and I was like, but you know, teachers were watching at that point, so they saw
Meet me in A-Hall.
the teacher pulled me outside the class and was like, "What was that about?" And I was like, you know, trying to do my little thing.
He said, "What do you
I was a
do?"
cool teacher too, but he was like, "You can't do it." I was like, "Damn."
They really did not want to see you
Should've
winning.
been like, I give you a cut. You know what I'm saying?
Low
I'll give you a profit if you keep this between me and
Yeah,
you.
I
should've,
could
bro.
you in real quick.
I
$5.
I really should have, bro. And I think I did. I think I tried to
know
like
that
give
teacher
free
said me
candies,
cut me.
sweeten the pot a little bit.
Oh, dude, like, hey, I got a couple little extra candy bars in my bag right now. I'll slide you one time.
Whoa, bro, you're unlocking memories because that's when I kept. Bro, we had the binder. We had the binders. And the front part unzipped.
Uh-huh.
And you could slide. It was the ones where you could pull it and
Yeah.
slide stuff in
Yeah.
there. And that's
Yeah.
what I did. The Reese's would be smushed, but they didn't. Nobody cared.
No, yeah, that's the best one.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, shh, shh, zzz. And I was carrying it. My shit was bulky. I was carrying.
Yeah, the heaviest one.
Yeah, bro.
You're a fool. That's crazy,
But
bro.
other than that, I think I was like super into academics,
Okay.
and I was a thespian too.
Nice.
I was in theater.
Nice. Wow, how was that experience?
It was cool.
Is that
I think I learned a lot about like public speaking and like
you got more comfortable with, like-
confidence.
yeah.
At a younger age.
That's good.
You know, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And then let me think. And I played Candyman like out of Willy Wonka. And so it was like similarities there too.
That's
Like
ironic.
I was selling candy and I was like on stage singing, selling candy.
I see, bro.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah. Other than that, bro, just it's pretty standard.
And then going into high school, what was like your, you know, were you trying to like, oh, I'm gonna be, because for example, like my thing when I was going into high school is like, oh, I'm gonna play for the basketball team.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna get a scholarship to play basketball. Like that was my thing. Like, what did you have any like plans for high school? Were you like nervous about it or
Not really, bro. I was just always just like, let me just get through it.
just
You know
trying
what
to get
I'm saying?
school over with?
Let me just do it.
Yeah.
I think like early on, I wanted to go to Harvard of all places.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I was like super into my my
academics.
grades and stuff like that.
That's good.
And then of course you slowly taper off
Yeah.
going into like senior year and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't have any big aspirations or goals or anything like that. Just let me just get through it.
And then I guess like, now that being said, what were your plans after high school then? Like, did you have any, or like
I didn't.
getting through school was just like, oh, I just want to get it over with and see what life has in store type of situation, or
I mean, obviously growing up, I had like that business itch.
yeah,
So I was
at a young
Yeah,
age,
you know
that,
what I'm
like we
saying?
just heard, yeah.
very
Yeah,
much
so I was like, I knew I wanted to do something in business. Like I knew I was gonna work for myself. Like,
You wanted to be like an entrepreneur type
exactly.
shit. Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And let me think. And I knew I wanted to do something creative too because I was also creative minded at a young age. And so I think my mindset graduating was, let me take a gap year and then figure out what I want to go to school for and then go. Or if I were to go, it would be for business.
Okay.
But then I was also the type of kid that questions every system.
Okay.
And so I was like, do I actually have to go to school to own a business and be an entrepreneur, or can I just do it? Because they don't ask for degrees if you're making a certain amount of money.
Facts.
And so I was thinking of all those things. Like I even like reached out to like mentor like my dad's friends who are like, you know, these like super pretty prolific, well off like black men. And so I was reaching out to them like, yo, is this a route I should take? I was getting feedback, but everything was different. Like everybody was saying something different. Everyone was saying like you should go to school. Other people were saying you should like start your business first, then go to school. Some people were saying, nah, just go hard at your business. If you make that your full-time job, then you'll make something of it.
That's
And
crazy.
so I was like,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
and I was like, yo, let me just see what happens.
So you had like after that, is that when I met you?
Nah, bro. I went through a season where I was actually cruising, but like in a bad way.
What you mean?
Like I was just going through the motions.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
So I felt on low key, like that's good that you realize that, because I feel like that's something like everybody does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at different times in the life, just depending on the situation, but like
sure.
you kind of just let go of like like a drive, and you're just like, all right, let me just see where it takes me. Is that kind of what you say you kind of let go of yourself? Is that what you mean? Because
Yeah.
like not saying that I like that's how I was, but I think that's kind of how like my mentality was. You know what I mean? Like I never really, like especially when I was going to school, because like it was like, let me just get school over with. Like whatever happens will come when that happens. You know, when I graduate, it'll be whatever. But then obviously like, you know, I'm not in school anymore, so it's
you're
like,
not?
no, I haven't been in school for a while actually.
Oh, I think I knew that actually.
Yeah,
My fault.
yeah. I was gonna say I've been working at HB and
That's
shit
right,
like that.
yeah.
So leading up into that point, it was just kind of like, I really didn't have like an actual direction where I wanted to go. So it kind of hit me a little later in life, because like I did go to school right off the bat. So that was my direction.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like once I guess like I came back here and was like, oh, you know, I really don't want to go to school. Like, and then that was when I was kind of like just going with the like trying to figure out like, all right, what is it that I really want to do in life? But yeah, so like how we were saying, like you kind of lost track a little bit of where you were wanting to be. You said you took a break after you took a year break after high school. How was that? Like that's a very like, I like that approach in life, because I feel like just makes you just appreciate like the situation you're in, and like if you really do need to go to school or not, and not just rushing into it just because everyone else in high school is going to college and stuff. So I kind of like that like mentality you had. So how was that experience for you then? Like did you learn a lot about yourself, or what was the?
I did learn a lot. Yeah. shout out to my mom because she was the one that suggested I take a gap year.
Yeah.
Because I think.
Oh, so she was like, "Hey, you don't need to go to school, right?"
Yeah, she was super chill about it. I think she almost like recommended that I
That's
did.
pretty badass.
You know
That's
what I'm
really
saying?
badass.
Yeah.
Because I think she recognized that I didn't have like a super strict vision on like where I
Where-
want to go,
yeah.
how I want. You know what I'm saying? Like all
That's
that.
amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, you know, not talking shit about our parents or anything, but like that's usually not how it is. You
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like as like a kid growing up, going right out of high school, your parents are either you're gonna
gotta
go to,
plan.
you're either gonna go to college or you're gonna go to work. It was
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't need to like you can have this year to find out what you know what I mean.
Oh, but don't get me wrong. I had to work.
No, yeah.
I couldn't just stay there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It wasn't like you were just like, all right, yeah, I could just bum this whole year.
Yeah,
She
I
was
could-
like,
yeah,
if
they-
you're
they
gonna,
wouldn't let me do
if
that.
you're not gonna go to school, then
You're
you
gonna work.
Gotcha,
You're gonna work for sure.
But I guess the college thing just wasn't forced upon you. It was like if you want to go, you can. If you want to have a year to where
Yeah.
if you could decide whether or not you okay, I got you. So I guess like what you learn about yourself? What was the benefit of that? Like, would you say that
What's the
like if
takeaway?
you were forced to go to college right off the get go, like would it have had like a
Yeah.
would you be in any different position or you know what I mean? Like
it's hard to answer like what I learned about myself for some reason, but yeah, I can say if I were to go to college, I would never have found photography.
really
I never would have had a creative outlet. I don't think.
Okay.
Because that was never presented to me
until
until I was working. You know, and I had the funds to buy a camera and
To
then
do-
also have the free time to learn how to use it,
gotcha.
and also have the space to learn how to use it.
Gotcha.
So if I was in college, I feel like I said, like I was an academic in high school. So if I went to college, I would be taking advanced courses at an early age, and I'll probably want to go through the 2-year,
Yeah.
like try to get it knocked out fast as opposed to the 4 years. And
Exactly.
So school would have been my whole thing.
And you wouldn't even thought about
Yeah, I think the only thing I would have came out of college with was a degree. Like
Like, what would you like? What would have you went to school for? Like, if like roughly.
if anything, it would be business.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think on the outside looking in, that looks like a good idea.
Yeah,
But a lot
for
of
sure.
people do business degrees and they come out doing something completely different.
facts.
You know what I mean?
I
So
mean,
don't think- I don't think-
you watch peer to peer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
I'm
hear
on that same exact.
you hear what they talk about with
Yeah.
like how Agent Zero and Low talk about how like going to school for a business degree is essentially like not useless
Mm-hmm.
because obviously all the connections and stuff, and you're going to school, you're getting education, but like in the grand scheme of things,
It sets you back
it
financially.
sets you back financially,
know what I'm
and
saying?
like you're pretty much gonna be like you could learn all that stuff business wise with
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing right now, or what we're trying to do with this and stuff. Like
Yeah.
even like as like small as a scale that we're at right now, it's like we're still like thinking of things to like grow the business. And
Yeah.
it's like this people have degrees to do this, and we're literally just thinking about it off the top of our heads. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
like the experience is what I would.
Facts.
That's why I asked you about it,
Yeah,
because like
facts.
that whole year with just working and finding out what you really want to do, I feel like that would have been huge for me specifically, just because like I was wanting to do what you're doing, like
Yeah.
being like your own like entrepreneur type shit since I was like your age, but like I said, it like when I was like younger, you know what I mean? But like it's just one of those things where like, you know, we talked about before in the other podcast, like the going to school, I felt like was just so forced upon us at a young age. So it's like you either go to college, or if you don't, then like you need to work, like how you were saying.
Then you're on your own.
and then you're on
Yeah,
your own
yeah.
type of deal. So
and I question that ASAP. Like
if you
everybody's going to college, wait, everybody?
exactly,
Why?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
exactly. That's good that you had that mentality
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
because like, you know, you kind of were going against the grain of what everyone else is doing. Like, do y'all really need to go to college? Like, y'all probably,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you were thinking about this, but like, you probably were, you know, thinking about it now, your age. It's like, man, like most of y'all didn't even graduate. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
The
So like,
dropout rate was super high when I looked at it.
For
And I was
sure.
like, so y'all just going just to say you went. Tried.
Yeah. Literally, like
and then having to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
with like business though, like they'll like if you take a business degree, like it's like I can speak from this just because I took part of it.
Yeah.
They'll teach you.
You said part of it. Did
Yeah.
you finish
they'll-
it?
Huh?
You
Yeah.
fin-
Oh yeah. No, I have
Okay.
like full on. Yeah.
yeah,
Business,
he has a,
a full on business degree, but
Nice.
yeah, it's
That's
not
good.
even really with business. I do computer.
Oh, nice.
But like they'll teach you this, like they'll teach you ROI, which if y'all don't know what that is return on investment.
Okay.
So basically, it's like saying, hey, like I spent $5,000 and I got $10,000 back. So return on investment's 2. I sunk 5,000 to get 10,
Right.
and it's like if you look at that from like, you know, trying to be an entrepreneur and going to school for business like that,
Yeah.
they teach you ROI like majorly in that. You realize the ROI of college to go start your own
like
business is fucking
contradictory.
terrible.
Yeah, it's like super
I saw
contradictory.
20, 30, 40,000 minimum.
Yeah.
So you go start my own business, that's gonna cost more capital for
Right,
that.
right.
And then I'm like, I could looked all this shit up on YouTube. Like for example, sorry to interrupt you,
you're good.
but Elon Musk was like, "Hey, I'm never paying like one of my employees to go get a master's in business."
Yeah.
He's like, "They can learn that shit on YouTube. It's fucking stupid."
That's the
And
crazy
people
thing.
like that say stuff like that. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
You know what I mean? And especially like we were saying, we watch Peer to Peer. Like, as successful as they are, they're a year or two older than us. Maybe be like late 20s and already literally like their own business.
They got a
like,
bunch of houses and
cars,
different streams of income. Like they're
crazy,
up.
bro. So it's like, man, like I saw that. And like, yeah, I was talking to you about it earlier. Like I told you that Agent Zero is like a big inspiration on like kind of what I want to do with the whole YouTube thing, and just being able to like physically see someone that started off playing games having his own group now, AMP,
Yeah, bro.
and then from that he has his podcast, and then he has his other channel with Low. It's like, man, that's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah,
So
bro.
it's cool to see that you can do it, and other people are wanting to do it that are successful in life as well.
Yeah.
Not even just like people that, oh, like I didn't go to college, let me see it. Like there's people that have like degrees that are still wanting to try to do this, and like that just says a lot to me. You know,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like you don't need to have a degree in life to be considered successful or make a lot of money. You know what
No,
I mean?
it's,
So
it's about the knowledge for sure.
it's about just like what you knowing, like the grind. You know,
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
you really want it, you're gonna go get it.
That's probably the biggest part. Like you gotta be self motivated.
And
you
that's
gotta be.
you know, like this is your podcast, so like I said, I want to you know what I'm saying, get more into like who you are, and not
Yeah.
and we're saying how you're a big entrepreneur from at a young age, wanting to sell candy and make money like that. So I guess going into the next question about you, like what got you into photography. You kind of briefly talked about that gap year. If you didn't have that, you said that you wouldn't have been into
Yeah.
photography. So like exactly how did you get into it, and who was like the person that like, or if there is any got you into the photography scene, and you know, because I'm assuming it started out as a hobby for you at first, and it kind of like essentially it still is your hobby, and you just you know
It's just I'm making money. from
making
it.
money from it now. So it's like, you know, that's a goal,
Yeah,
you know, in life,
yeah.
being able to do something you enjoy and get paid to do it. So I guess just the story of like how you got into it and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, you know?
I'm gonna start when I first got out of high school.
Okay.
And so during high school and a little bit after high school, I was working at Smoothie King. I don't know if we can say names.
Yeah, go for it, bro. Yeah.
But they treated me terribly. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah, I remember you tell me.
bro, like I think that was strike one for me. I was
That-
like working for somebody. That was strike one. I was like,
And that was your first job.
that was my second job. First job was Whataburger. They treated me real nice. Like
Okay.
probably too nice. We got away with a lot of stuff.
Okay. So that was a good experience then.
Yeah, that was a good
But
experience.
Smoothie King,
Yeah, but Smoothie King was like strike one.
gotcha.
Like, yeah, bro. I don't want to have to get into it that much.
Yeah, you
but,
sure? Yeah, if you don't want to talk about it.
But went to HEB and then completely different.
Mm-hmm.
They treat me pretty well. But between Smoothie King and HEB, I was bumming it a little bit. But
Okay.
then my mom got on me to like get a job and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because I also didn't have a car, and so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a car, and so I think during that time I was like completely different. Like this is me, right? But
Yeah.
I was a complete 180. Like.
Really?
But just for a short period of time. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just wasn't me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like unmotivated, wasn't an entrepreneur, had no plans, had no like I
Just
was
kind of bumming it out type
just
of deal?
bumming it out, bro.
Okay.
And then and I was always like latching on to what other people had going on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing for myself.
Gotcha.
And I was like heavily watching YouTube. I was watching other people come up and grinding,
Yeah.
which is cool, right? But there came a point in time where I was like, I don't want to be consuming content no more. I want to create the content because they're the ones that are up. If I keep doing this, nothing's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Right. And then, and I think that was like the first step into going in the right direction.
Okay.
Second step was shout out to Matthew Reed. He's a videographer, and he took me along to one of those like Dave Ramsey like money makeover court like seminar things. I don't know if y'all know about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they have somebody speak in front of like a large crowd how to get your finances in order, right?
Yeah.
And the first step was like have no debt. Second step was build a safety net, like a safe, like $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
And then third thing was invest, and then fourth thing was to pad your savings, and so that you could account for 3 to 6 months of expenses. And so that was like super motivating too, because I was like, yeah, millionaires don't become millionaires most often from having no plan and just doing what they do. Like there's always a plan on how to there's practical steps on how to make $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, in order to invest and become a millionaire, because for some reason that was a goal of mine, I was like, I need to make money. That was the second step to getting into the right direction. Mm-hmm. And so I think third was like being heavily involved in the self-improvement side of YouTube. Okay. Like how to manage your time better, get up on time, or be organized, journal, take time for yourself, read, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And nowhere in my vision of like how I've viewed my ideal life was to not work.
Really?
Right. And then like, people like Gary Vee and all them were like grind, so you don't have to later.
Yes.
And so now my two main things I hold on to are like, you'll only be this young once, and you reap what you sow. And so I was like, yeah, I'm only getting older. I'm only going to be less motivated going like as I get older. Yeah. I'm only going to have this amount of strength and like drive energy, now. Yeah, and so I was like, let me go ahead and get this job. That was 3. That was the third step. I was like, let me get HEB in the bag. And then like, I even grinded like interview videos and like resume videos and like charisma videos. Cause I was like, I need to get this job for real. I need to get a raise like as soon as possible. I need to get the most amount of pay. And so that's why you saw me how I was at HEB. Cause I was like, I'm here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like
you had a good mentality. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
every day,
very much so.
Yeah.
Even when I knew some bullshit was going on, I was like, I'd go talk to him. Like, hey, like what do you need? Like what's up? Like, can I help? Or whatever. And you're like, no, bro, it's good. Like, I'm fine. I'm like, bro, it's a shit show. Like, you serious? Like, I'm like, all right. Like,
yeah, bro. And then that was the start of like a new leaf. Because then I felt like me younger was cool. Like I was pretty much me now, just younger. Mm-hmm. And then for a minute I wasn't me. But then at that point at HEB, I was like, oh, this is what older me feels like. Like this is me grown up. Yeah, like, I'm still me. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
If I could tell it in photos, I would. But
okay, yeah, I see you.
But yeah, I was grinding, bro. I was like, I need to make sure my performance is A1 at all times if I want to make the most money.
Exactly.
If I want to make my schedule the most for me. Yeah. If I want to build relationships. And so I did. Shout out to all the people at HEB that I met. Cause
that's how I met you, bro.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. Like it was lit. Like I had fun, like just being me at HEB.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
and I think that was my networking / like wanting to be around people thing. Yeah. Because I didn't have that going to college. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair.
So that was my college.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a
good point. I didn't think about that.
That is a great point, honestly, because I mean, like I said, I haven't been in college for a couple years now, and I would say working at HEB, that's how I built a lot of the like friends that I like my new friends that I get. You know what I mean? Like obviously I have all my homeboys that I've known forever, and they're always gonna be with me. But like meeting the new friends, trying to network, like you said, and trying to build this podcast up and build everything else I wanted to do. Because like we were talking about earlier, like we work with such a wide variety of age ranges to where like you got to take advantage of that. Yeah. Because like whenever you work at like a business job or something like that, or a job that, like you need a degree, it's like you're not getting like the younger crowd, you're getting like older people, usually like mid-20s to like whenever, you know what I'm saying? So it's like taking advantage of like the situation we're in, like that's a great, like what you said was a great like point, because HEB is essentially like the college if you didn't go to college. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, that's amazing, bro. Like, because like you said, without that, we wouldn't have met you. We wouldn't be right here doing this podcast.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
And it was fun too, because like I even like we made like a whole basketball group chat at the front end. It was like lit, bro. It was like, what y'all doing after HEB? Like y'all got your basketball shorts and your ball on the truck. Let's go hoop right down the street.
Yeah,
and we would hoop. We'd have a good time, bro. We'd eat too, bro. Break bread, talk about some real stuff, and then go back to HEB the next morning.
Yeah,
and do it all over again.
Hell yeah.
And so
I guess HEB, you were working there.
I was working at HEB and Shipped.
I forgot about
So
you were just on your grind, right?
I was grinding, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dang, 80 hours a week.
Deadass?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
40 from HEB, 40 from Shipped?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd get off of a Shipped, or you get off of HEB and go Shipped?
Yes. I was by any means.
And was there a reason, or were you just trying to...
The reason was because of Dave Ramsey, the Dave Ramsey thing. He was like, buy your car in cash, right? He was like, don't acquire any debt by any means. And so I was buying my car from my parents, and they were letting me use it while I made money.
Gotcha.
So I was like, damn, that's lit.
Yeah,
shout out to my parents
again. Facts.
But I was like, I want to pay off this car. I want to buy this car as soon as possible, so I have little to no expenses.
Yeah.
And so I was working at HEB 40 hours a week. I loved the morning shifts when I had to come in like super duper early, or the night shifts where I'd leave at the latest, because I wanted to have time to go to Shipped the opposite.
Gotcha.
And so I worked maintenance. Maintenance opened at 5 a.m., 5 to 1:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
I would schedule myself on the Shipped app from 2 to 8 or 2 to 9, whatever the latest was, and I would just do it.
Yeah.
I would just do it, bro. And then on my days off, I'd do it the full day, 12 hours actually.
Yeah.
And then like have my little lunch in between.
Yeah.
You know, my little grab and go. I was meal prepping at that time. I was like trying to waste no time. I had my meal prep days and everything, bro.
Yeah.
I took a lot from YouTube. Bro.
Yeah.
a lot from YouTube.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. So you kind of like maintained a certain lifestyle for...
I did.
How long were you doing that for? How were you working both job or Shipped in...
I think only 3 months. It wasn't too long.
Still though.
It was still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Coming through my hands.
And you were just kind of like saving up to pay off the car? Was that
yeah,
you?
yeah.
And then once you paid it off, you're like, okay, I Shipped. I don't really need to do that.
I stopped doing Shipped.
Okay.
And then I think that's around the time I picked up the camera.
Bro, that's crazy. Come like, literally, like you learn all these lessons from like YouTubes like that, which is pretty crazy.
Bro, it's a lot on there.
Yeah,
bro.
because a lot of people like literally, you'll tell them like, hey, like I wouldn't do that shit if I were you, kind of thing. Is like just because like you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah.
And most people are like, I'll figure it out for myself. But like, I said this before, and I think we've talked about this before, like a long time ago. Is like the really wise people can learn from other people, like mistakes wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
And on that note, like I was also, no offense, shout out to my older HCB workers, but I was looking at them as like an example of what I didn't want to be.
Yep.
It's like no, like not trying to joke, but like I was
Yeah.
like, what did they do wrong to the point where they have to stay here? Like they're obligated to stay here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly how I am.
You know what I'm saying,
I'm
bro?
like, like I said, like I never want to like shit on anybody about their situation in their life and stuff, but like I'm just kind of using them as an example as to like what
To avoid
where I don't
to
want to
avoid,
be. Yeah, I get and it's like. Not knocking you.
I'm sure some people like that.
HEB is a great job. You know what I'm saying? Like they get paid well. They have insurance. They have this. They have that. You know, there's benefits to it,
Oh, yeah, for
obviously.
sure.
And whenever you break off from that and you want to go do your own thing, there's just so many risks and stuff like that I want to get into. Like as to why, like you are where you're at, but like I think for me at least, like looking at them, I think it's just they're at a stage in life where it's kind of like they're content. They're content and they really don't have any other options.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because majority of those people are older and majority of those people either have kids and stuff where you can't have an inconsistent amount of income coming in.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like, that's why I'm kind of like, like we had talked about it. We did a Valentine's podcast actually, and we talked about like relationships and like having like shit like that. So like I brought that up because we had talked about what age you want to have kids at and stuff. And like, I mean, eventually I want to have kids, probably like we were saying, like 30 or something like that. You know what I mean? Late 20, like I just turned 25, so I'm like kind of getting to that point. You know, I mean, I'm not ready, but like,
hey y'all, hit him up.
if it happens, bro,
over here.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm kind of at a stage in life where like I have like a good amount of income coming in, shit like that. But like I wanted to wait till later and on, just because like I can barely, like not barely, but like you know, there's when you have a kid, bro, that shit just gets so more
whole
expensive
different-
that like I
yeah.
just
Yeah,
don't
bro.
don't even want to think about because
Yeah.
like I'm trying to get to become like an entrepreneur essentially. And like I want, with that being said, like I want to get to a point where when I'm doing what I want to do with the business, that I'm able to support like a whole family type deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Type of deal.
Nah, I get you.
But so yeah, you said that was when you officially, when you stopped working with Ship, that's when you picked up the camera.
That's around the
So
time I picked up the camera.
what was that like? Was it just you went to like you did you go to like a pawn shop or something?
Nah,
or
I
what?
didn't. Shout out to Matthew Reed again because he was selling his old camera that he was using as a wedding videographer.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you were-
and he was making money from it. I picked it up trying to make money, right? Like as a little side hustle,
Like side gig type shit.
But it's become way more than that in like the recent years. Like it's become my creative outlet. You know what I mean? It's become the thing I go to when I want to tell stories and like capture moments. You know what I mean? And then also like actually I forgot what I was gonna say. What was the question again?
What
What made you pick up camera?
What, like after you had picked up the camera, what
Oh,
made
that's
what,
what I was gonna
what was
say.
the
Yeah.
reason for you to keep going with it?
For sure, yeah. I was gonna say, the camera or photography in general is now like teaching me more things about myself,
Okay.
like things I didn't even like pay attention to growing up. An obvious one is like, oh yeah, photography makes sense because I wanted to work for myself, or photography makes sense in the way that I color my images because I loved comic books growing up. I loved going to the library. And now that unlocks memories of me going to the Carver Library in East Austin after my parents, you know, do like a like choir rehearsal at church, and all these memories are coming back. And like I remember the church now. I remember the walls. I remember the red shag carpets and like the wooden how the wood creaks when you walk on it, and like how everything was lit.
Just like very
Just
little details,
Very
that, like,
small
yeah.
details, right? And then even now, right? Like photography is the reason why I'm on this podcast. I remember details about the whole candy situation. And so it's so funny how the camera is like literally teaching me or reminding me of things of my
Things about
past
you,
or
yeah.
why I even gravitated to the camera in the first place.
Gotcha.
I say all that to say, I picked up the camera to try to make money, and now I'm using the camera to tell stories and stuff like that, right? And so he was selling it, and I bought it, and then learned how to use it, looked at photographers on YouTube, I'm self-taught, and figured out how to use it right, like to a T. Like I wanted to know every little thing about the camera, like even the small. I was going through the menus, like making sure I knew like what everything did, bro, because I wanted to make sure I used it to the best of my advantage, and I did. And then it went beyond that. Then it went to how to direct, how to get people to be vulnerable in front of the camera, how movement works, like anatomy, like and like how different fabrics flow and stuff like that. And so, bro, there's like everything and nothing in between when I picked up the camera and now, because it's just been a complete journey of like of literally everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning things about morality and like relationships and what it means to be vulnerable, and color schemes, what colors do to us. Like music's different now. What music's mean, like different systems, like turnaround time, or like why I get into creative slumps at different times, and like stuff like that. Like literally everything, or when to say yes to a certain job. When does something make sense? You know what I mean? Why am I fulfilled in this type of work and not this type of work? And then like now I'm looking at other people's photography. I'm looking at different photo books. I'm looking at documentaries. I'm looking at everything. And now I'm learning the things that they're like, the things I'm going through now. I'm learning about how they answered them, and what answers make sense from what they said, and how I can apply it to my photography.
Yeah.
What answers don't make sense, and why it doesn't make sense to me, and how I should figure out how they got to that point.
about it,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like it's been an absolute journey. It's like a relationship. It's like me and the camera, like me and the camera, like
Yeah.
like me and the camera. Chapter 1, we're doing this, we're
Yeah.
dancing. We're like me and the camera. Chapter 2, we're like deep diving into people's psyches. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's all these different things. And so I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that was going to be what it would become. But again, the cameraman is grabbing things from the back of my brain. Is like, yo, you remember this? This is why you picked this up. This is why you picked up the camera. You remember this? This is why you're attracted to this lighting. This is why you're attracted to these kind of people, these kind of experiences. This is why you want to tell these type of stories.
Yeah.
You remember this growing up? You did this and that? I was like, whoa, like, yeah.
Like, yeah, I do,
Let me
actually.
see how I can translate that to a photo. And it's an art, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of the things are abstract in a sense. And it's like, I could do commercial photography and like product photography, but now like trying to relay a feeling through an image and through fashion and through modeling and through lighting, it's like a completely different thing, right?
Yeah.
And
that's a new dimension. Like that's
it's wild.
That's
and like
dope.
I was on the outside looking in at artists, like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
That doesn't make any sense. Like even paintings are like abstract paintings. Like I'm sure y'all look at paintings and like, oh, I could do that. That means nothing.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's a story behind everything to an artist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Going into, what you were saying. No, son, you said that. You're just an interesting
Yes, sir.
guy, you know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, okay.
With the whole, you were saying that you started photography as a way to make money, and now you're starting to realize that it's a way for you to express yourself and how you feel and how other people feel. So, what is like I guess with, we were saying how you were working at HEB. What was your reason behind you wanting to stop working there and start doing photography full time?
Yeah, I realized I needed to step back when I was getting more like inquiries than I had time.
Really?
So people.
So while you were working at HEB, you were shooting.
I was shooting on the weekends on my day offs.
Gotcha.
Because that's what filled the shift gap,
Gotcha.
essentially. But yeah, then people would be like, yo, are you available this day? I want to pay you this amount of money. And I'd be like, nah, I work. Or people would be like, yo, can you shoot this thing in like 3 to 5 days? Like, in a week or something like that. And I'd be like, my schedule came out already. Like, I had to put that in. So you got to let me know 2 weeks in advance. Nobody's doing 2 weeks in advance for a photo shoot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's usually
It's
like,
always
is it usually like a last minute thing?
It's usually last minute for the smaller things. And I'm saying like the smaller things that are less than $600. But for the biggest thing, like bigger things, they'll be out. But even then, like sometimes people back out last minute. They need somebody to fill in and then they hit me up. And then I'll need to be there within a week.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, yo, my time is pretty valuable.
Yeah.
It's kind of worth more than $12.50 an hour in some cases.
So I was about to say, when was like the...
What was the day?
Or I guess like, I don't know if you remember. I feel like it probably would be something.
Like my last day?
Yeah, when was like okay, yeah, like I know that I can make more money from shooting. Like if I have my open availability to shoot whenever.
When did I know that?
Like, or I guess like, yeah, how far into you actually doing like shooting? Because I know you would shoot,
question.
but I don't know if it was like consistently all the time. I remember like I would be talking to you and you would say that like, oh, I actually have photos that I haven't edited yet, but like I'll probably edit. You know what I mean? Like it was like that type of situation last time I talked to you. So like, or like the last like time I like remember having a conversation about the whole photography thing before you actually started doing it. It was like, oh, I have a lot of footage that I need to edit, but I don't really have time, and then I'm also trying to work.
Yeah, it was that too for sure, because people wanted like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 week turnaround times.
Okay.
And I was like, I work 5 out of 7 days of the week.
Exactly.
And so I only have 2 days to edit. And if I'm shooting and editing, like what days do I allot for that? And what days do I rest? Because I also want to sleep and relax. And
like I'm pretty sure you have a social life too.
I want to play basketball.
I hang out with your friends. Yeah.
And so I was like, so the first step was actually like going down to part-time. And everybody was shocked by that. Management was shocked by that because I was like I said, I was that super driven, wanting to take hours type of dude.
Like you were like, I'll pick up overtime.
I was doing overtime all the time.
Yeah.
And they would get mad at me sometimes because one manager would say, yeah, you can do it. Others would be like, nah, we need to save money in this department because I was cross-functional.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, so then I went from 60 hours a week to 40 hours a week to want to do 2 days a week. And then like only 2 or 3 weeks into doing the 2 days a week thing, I was telling people that I was leaving. Like I had to go, and I had to invest in my craft because I think like aside from actually investing money, that was like the second
Time.
most important investment. I think that's the number one investment at this point.
Yeah.
Because if I want to be a great photographer, I need to spend time being a photographer. I need to put the time in.
Yeah.
I need to put the pain in. I need to like be up late at night editing. I need to be in the studio learning how to use lights. I need to make mistakes. I need to have time to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't have time to make mistakes if I'm at HEB doing the safe thing.
Yeah.
And so put my 2 weeks in, and at that time I had a little bit of savings, so I had a little bit of like a safety net. And shout out to Dave Ramsey, shout out to Matthew, because that came into play again, having money to fall back on. Granted, I should have had more money saved up than I did.
I feel like you can always have more money saved up. You know what I mean? Like that's never like a
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because at one point I was pulling from that. At one point there were weeks that were like super slow where I had to think like, yo, am I making the right decision? There was times where I was this close to like calling Barbara and being like, yo, because she said you can come back whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Shout out Barbara. She was like, you can come back whenever you want to if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But there's also that side of me that didn't want to come back to the people who doubted, because there's those people, people who were skeptical. People who were skeptical but never said they were skeptical. Instead, they would just ask a bunch of questions to make sure that I was doing the right thing, as if I answered to them.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like. I think ego was like even one of the biggest things why I stayed away from coming back to HEB.
Facts.
So I did not want to come back and have to tell Barbara I need to come back because I'm not making enough money. Because they were the ones who were being like, not Barbara specifically. Shout out to Barbara. But people were like, are you sure you're making the right decision?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you have enough income coming in from photography to do that full time and not have to come back to HEB? Are you sure you don't want to just go back to one day and stay on the payroll? And I was like, nah, I want the full 60 hours I'm putting into HEB to put into my photography.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was.
And that was just what was driving you to just stick with it type of deal. And
because
I would assume you were investing all your time into, opposed to just a couple of days. You were probably getting a lot better at it.
I was,
probably
bro.
Just getting a lot more. Engagement with other like people that are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you when you do something that you want to do full time, it just like your options just open up. You know what I mean? Because like we said, we just got back from San Diego and we're making content out there. You know, we haven't posted or anything, but while the cameras were hot the whole time. You know what I mean? We're taking pictures, we're recording.
It's a must.
And it's like one of those things where like, bro, like if we could do this. Like, that was just a weekend trip for, like, you know, my birthday, Cam's birthday, and just, like, a getaway for everybody. It was like, if we could do this all the time, bro, and get paid to do it.
Nice.
Like, I was texting Zach. We were heading back home, and I told him that, and I told Alex, I'm like, bro, like, just imagine if we could do this stuff, like, full time and be getting paid to do it.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? So that, I see how whenever you stopped working at HEB and you went down to part-time and then you were like, you know what, I'm just going to start doing it. Like, that takes a lot, bro. And I don't think people really realize that, because like that's the situation I'm in right now. Like, you know, I had some money saved up. The situation that just happened, about whatever. That's this isn't about me, but
you gotta get into it.
but
Last question.
You know, like I make good money. I get paid pretty well. You know, it's 40 hours a week. I get paid every week. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get into that certain lifestyle, like you were saying when you're selling candy and stuff, it's like you're in a certain like lifestyle. You just get comfortable with it.
Just secure with it, because you know that check's coming.
Exactly, it's gonna come every single week. Opposed to like, you know, you being an artist or me with this YouTube stuff. It's like I'm not even getting paid from it yet. You know what I mean? And like I said, at first, like, I'm not expecting to get paid from it. If it happens, it happens. Great. You know, if we're able to get monetized, that would be wonderful. But like, you know, at the end of the day, like I'm just doing this because like the relationships I'm building up with, you know, other people and trying to build an audience, and you know the relationship I'm building with, you know, my homies. Like I feel like we've gotten a lot more closer recently. Just like because we all have like a goal in mind. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of like I'm kind of in that situation right now. You know, with the whole. You know, if I could do this, if I could do the podcast and just do more content posting wise, like more than just once a week, like that was my goal for March. So that's kind of where I want to go and like what I'm trying to think of. And, you know, I just wanted to hear your perspective of how like that was, you know, because that is, you are going out on a limb and you're like, you know, I'm gonna quit this job. You know, you said you have money saved up, so it's
A
not
little
like you
bit,
just
yeah.
completely, you know, we're just like gun ho with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you know, that still is a tough thing to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because like, you know, like we were saying, like that's like consistent income coming in, and
sure.
like, you know, like you don't know how much money you're gonna be making off the
Yeah.
get go once you start
Yeah.
like a photography and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just wanted to see your perspective on
sure,
that,
bro.
and like see like your mentality going into that,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously when you quit, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be doing this and hopefully it works. It was
Yeah.
like, no, like I already knew that
It has to work.
Yeah, it has
literally
to work.
has to
Yeah.
work.
It has to work, and you had like people already hitting you up about, like how you're
Yeah.
saying, like once people started booking you and like, oh, would you be able to shoot this, shoot
Yeah,
this? So like
yeah.
you kind of already were getting
I
a little,
I for sure was fostering those relationships
Yeah.
like off the gate.
Yeah.
Like I knew who the hottest photographers were in Austin.
Yeah.
I knew the process of like how to work with like signed models before even leaving.
Gotcha.
Like I studied.
you were
the
you were
industry.
you were doing like your due diligence and like
exactly.
research and stuff like that. It
Exactly.
wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just quit HEB and not.
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then it got to a point where I was like, why am I not leaving then? If like if not now, then when, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if it's not a matter of when, like I don't even have a date in mind. Like why not just do it right now?
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
I
mean?
got you. Yeah.
So let me ask you this then, like, with you like quitting like that and everything else, like, what are some things up till now that you're like, damn, like, if I could go back, I'd go back and change that. Like, you know, try this, try that, or like, you know, I would have quit sooner or something like that.
I don't know, man. I think everything happened perfectly in a sense.
Okay.
Like, I mean, obviously there were hard times where I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done this so soon. But then again, like I'm here now, and so I don't know why I would change anything when I'm like perfectly content with, you know,
Where you're at.
where I am right now. I don't think I have any regrets. I don't know. I feel
that
like
was good. Yeah, that's a
good
I
thing,
feel like that was not the answer you're looking for.
No. That's good. I was like, some people are like you said, or some people are like, I would not go back and change a thing. Some
Yeah.
people are like, you know, I'll go back and change like half my life. Like,
Yeah,
So
nah.
it's kind of cool seeing different, you know,
Perspective.
perspectives on that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing though, because that means that you feel like you learned a lot of lessons, you got a lot of stuff out of it. So that's
Yeah,
good.
I think to the unmotivated, they're looking for the easiest way to do something. I chose some of the hardest things to do, and I think it paid off. You only get stronger from benching big plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can't say I wish I didn't bench those big plates. I wish I would have done something easier
Yeah.
because then I wouldn't have been as strong as I am now.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so
You said no.
I put in pain, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was
Put in-
it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough at some points, but that's literally the reason why my mentality is the way it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You put in the work, and now you're reaping
Get
the
the
benefits
reward,
from
yeah.
it.
Exactly. And there were definitely times where I was like sowing, I was planting, I was watering, and had no clue why the plants weren't sprouting when I thought they should.
Yeah.
Right. But then like 2 to 3 years later, I'm seeing investments in myself come out of nowhere out the woodworks. I'm like, oh,
So
that's why I did that.
Yeah,
that's why I was putting all that work.
Or that's why it took so long.
Gotcha.
Maybe there wasn't enough sun.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't enough water.
Water.
Maybe I was like an ounce of water away from meeting that quota that the plant needed to grow.
Yeah.
And then so I do that. And now like I have opportunities coming left and right.
That's amazing.
I have all these relationships that I've built.
Yeah.
I know who to hit up for certain things.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're introducing me to their friends. They're introducing me to those different events. I'm in different circles now. I'm getting into doors, different places. I'm able to have conversations in different places, right?
Yeah.
And so like all these different, and then obviously like plants and trees, they germinate, they move, they make more trees.
Yeah.
They're making trees that I had no idea I planted through those trees, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it gets even deeper.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll have a whole forest. That's how forest works.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Maybe I'm building up other people's careers as well. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Like,
okay.
helping other people along the way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's what it's all about, bro.
yeah, and then I
Really.
can look back and be like, the one seed I know that I sowed was leaving HEB, and now I have a big ass forest, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that shit is lit.
That is lit,
you know what I mean, bro? It's like
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? If I didn't leave HEB at that time, who knows? I could have been out of season. I could have been planting the wrong tree for the wrong season.
Yeah.
I would have been looking for the cherry blossoms in autumn, but
Yeah.
it could have been barren. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, facts.
sorry, I can get deep into
No,
metaphors.
yeah, go for it, bro. That's what we have you here for. You know what I'm
I can get deep
saying?
into metaphors, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, that's you know what I'm saying, that's why I wanted you on here, bro. Because like I said, you were, you know, and I mean obviously you don't know this, but like I was like, man, you're the fact that I saw you do that, and like I was talking to you about what you were wanting to do, and I saw you do that, and like you're like a inspiration for me, bro. Like low key, that's how like I mean obviously I have never told you this, but like
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying, like
appreciate
it's
it,
just
bro.
like you went out on a limb, you bet on yourself, you know what I mean, and like that's like where I'm at right now too, and like it's just awesome that you know the fact that you're younger than me and like you have that mentality, you know what I'm saying, because like it's taken me to where I'm at right now in life to realize that like all right, like if I want to get something done, I need to grind, I need to do this,
bro.
I need to do that, I need to sacrifice some time, I need to realize that like all right, I'm gonna have to put all my time and effort into this as of right now if I want it to be like are you saying like a big old tree, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing to see where you've come and just like where you started from and now where you're at right now.
Yes, sir.
So like I guess you know I want to get more into like the photography, like the jobs and stuff that you do, and I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah.
you sign in like NDAs or anything. I don't know how that works, but like
They
is
tried
there
to get me.
They really?
It's a story for a different time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that different time. So like what is the I guess you were just out in LA.
I was out in LA.
How was that? What was the whole trip about? Like what was
LA
it?
was dope. Shout out to Ruben. Plants growing, right? I reached out to Ruben maybe 2 months after I had left HEB, emailing him like just, yo, I want to learn how to use my camera better, but not even in a technical sense. I saw his story from a local stylist where he was like having a full-on conversation with the model before even shooting. It was like a monologue that he prepared, right? And he was like almost coaching them or building a relationship in the attempts to make the model more vulnerable in to get better photos in the end. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, yo, like I said, like I was looking up photographers in the area, like making sure I knew who was who. And so emailed him like, yo, I just want to learn. I just want to learn how you direct. I want to learn how to use your camera.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond the first time, but I followed up. That's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah.
Followed up 3 days later.
You gotta be honestly.
Like, yeah, like regarding my last, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, tight shit. Yeah, I like it.
Best, Isaac.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Best regards. Yeah.
I sent him a portfolio of my images. It's
Okay,
like,
just
you know,
so-
in the email.
Yeah.
And I shadowed him at his studio, and I was like, "Yo, if there's ever anything else I can do for you, you know, like I'm here. Like you have my number, you have my email." And he was like, "Yeah, bro, super down to earth guy. Shout out Ruben, bro."
Yeah.
And he was like ever since then, I've helped him and have gotten paid and have gotten to know other creatives through that relationship, through that email that I sent
That's
prior.
crazy.
You
That's
know what
amazing,
I mean?
Yeah.
I say that to say, this year, like, okay, let me backtrack. Everybody's been telling me I need to travel. Everybody's been telling me to avoid the Austin trap. Everybody's telling me to avoid being an Austin photographer.
Really?
They want me to travel so I can build my network in other places.
Okay.
And so, like, somebody in particular, one of my mentors was telling me that you need to travel now because you're young. And you may not have money, but you need to invest that money so you can build your network, because that's a better and bigger investment that you'll gain later.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was still like, nah, I'm not trying to drop that kind of money, bro.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to myself, I will travel, but only if my plane ticket is paid for. I said that.
Okay, okay.
I said that.
Yeah, that's
and,
nice.
And so earlier than the LA trip, I went to Seattle.
Okay. Rich guy, huh?
Bro. No. Because my plane ticket was paid for. Listen. My godfather came to Austin maybe 2 weeks prior to sync up with me and my family, which he hadn't seen in 8 years. And so we're chopping it up. He's a flight attendant.
Yeah.
We're chopping it up. He was getting to ask me why, like what I did for a living or what I was up to. I was like, nah, I'm not going to school, but I'm a photographer. My dad gassed me up. He was like, you got to look at his website. He's legit, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
Shout
No,
out
you're
to
nice.
my
Yeah,
dad. Shout out
you're
to
nice,
my dad,
bro.
bro. And so my godfather, Sean, he was looking through my portfolio. He was like, oh, you actually, you're legit.
Yeah, for sure.
He was like, yo, my birthday is in a little bit. You want to take my portraits? And I was like, yeah, sure. And those type of things happen a lot where the client ends up falling through and doesn't end up happening. So I didn't put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
But we exchanged contacts. We're talking about it. And I was like, yo, bro, like, I'll do your portraits for your birthday. All you got to do is pay for the plane ticket. He paid for the plane ticket. He paid for more than that. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to my godfather. He paid for the plane ticket, my stay, food. He helped drive me around different places.
Wow.
And so I was in Seattle for what, 4 or 5 days, shooting not only his stuff, but also model test shoots that I set up while I was there with other like Seattle-based agencies.
That's smart. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I made the most of it. I did 2
Nice.
shoots in one day, the last day I was there.
You're nice.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was literally like the first time I flew since 2019 before the pandemic when I went to Italy. And so I was no.
Rich guy over here. You
So-
see the flames of Jones? Come on now.
So bro, I was like, oh, like that's actually cool. Like that actually worked out how I said it out loud.
Yeah.
And so I think I got back from Seattle to Austin, and within a week, Ruben was telling me about, because now we're buddies. Like that's my boy. Like he's like super talented. Like maybe 20 times better than me.
Really?
Yes, bro. He's that guy. He's
Okay.
that guy.
Okay.
And now we're friends, which is the craziest thing to me.
Yeah.
Because he's super dope. But he was like, yo, I'm going to LA. I'm just going to go for a vacation. And then I forgot how it came about, but he was like, do you want to go? I was like, nah, bro, I'm really trying to save money. Just got back from Seattle. He was like, I'll pay for your plane ticket.
Oh.
I'll pay for your plane ticket.
And
I
you
was
said
like-
that's all you needed. That's all that you asked. Huh?
I was like, say less.
Yeah.
I was like,
Something.
Yeah. Bet.
yeah, so I went, and like even like before we were talking about it, me and Ruben were talking about it. Then I hadn't heard about it for like 2 weeks, so I didn't even know if that trip was actually happening. But like 3 days before we were supposed to leave, he was like, "I got your plane ticket." I was like, "Oh, whoa!"
Okay.
Put a few emails in. I reached out to Devin Mazza, the agent and creative director over Mazza Models in Austin, one of the dopest agencies in town.
Okay.
Asking her if she knew anybody. Shout out to Devin. If she knew anybody in LA, like agency wise and agents wise, to see if I could get some test shoots going. And she came through. She came through like crazy, bro. Like
Yeah.
she linked me with so many agencies, so many models, and like I was getting email after email.
Damn.
Of like people like, oh yeah, you're coming to LA. Let's set something like they're eager to.
Yeah.
And they're responding fast. I was like, shout out to Devin.
Yeah.
Because that's another like seed that I sowed. There's another seed that I sowed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like never in my wildest dreams that I think that was gonna happen. So yeah, I go to LA with Ruben. He's like kind of chilling out. He kind of went MIA for a few days, which is funny because I was like, I ain't seen this man. We came together.
Yeah,
Shout out to Ruben. He was at the spa and like he's also an actor, and so he went to pitch a script, and so I guess he's gonna be directing soon too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, like I say, he's super talented.
Hell yeah.
And I was also doing test shoots while I was there. I shot maybe 7 or 8 different faces, like different models while I was there.
Yeah.
And so I came back, and I
I was gonna say, how was that experience? Was that cool going to like a different city and like?
Was it different from like Austin to over there? Like, was it different scene, different like kind of?
yeah, it was different. I think mostly because I didn't have a car while I was there. I'm too young to rent a car. And so we Ubered and I kind of felt like I was part of the city at that point.
Yeah.
Like, oh snap! I'm Ubering everywhere. I'm like, I'm trying
You
to.
know,
I'm like, I gotta get back to the hotel. The little telly. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we were just like, and then like you hear things about LA and like LA people, but everybody was super cool. From the agents to the models to my boy that I linked up with in LA, who I met through a friend in Austin who went to LA. Shout out to Angel. We linked up, me and Suede, his name's Suede. We linked up, he helped me out, and we just made it happen. He was doing like BTS and videos, and now me and Suede are talking about studios coming soon to Austin and LA and like rental properties, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, like this forest is really getting built, bro.
Yes, sir.
And so, to answer your question, LA was a vibe. LA was lit. I need to go back. I'm going to go back. I think the soft plan is to go to LA for 6 months after my lease is up.
Really?
Just to kind of like
You
really
just go out there.
really build my network, because now I have connections now because of the trip. But now I actually get to meet people in person and like get like higher paying
Get your
clients
name
while
out there
my
and
name
shit.
out
Yeah,
there. And so I think traveling put everything into perspective, which everybody said it would, which is why everyone was telling me to travel in the first place. It's like now I'm learning more again about my photography, what makes a good photo shoot a good photo shoot. I'm learning about communication and emailing and portfolios and what all it takes. Now I'm starting to learn what all it takes to build a studio. And I had conversations in LA that kind of inspired me to invest in rental properties. And so now I'm learning about rental properties. And so traveling definitely, Seattle and LA have like helped in like cultivating my creative eye and shaping how I shoot in general.
Yes, sir.
My life in general, more so. You know what I'm saying? So
We were talking about your LA trip. You said it was a great experience. Everyone told you that that was what you needed to do to kind of elevate yourself, I guess you would say,
to expand my network
in your whole photography thing. So, is there any like other trips like coming soon, or is it you could just kind of just letting it rest for a little bit and trying to work more in Austin, or like what is your direction with what you want to do with your I guess yourself, since you are that it is your own company and stuff, right?
I am trying to take it a little easy, but things are coming up. People are hitting me up to go different places, so I guess that
out of state and stuff.
Out of state and like different
cities
in Texas and like spots and stuff like that. But I think the nature of like the photography or even the fashion industry is like you never know until you know. And so people are saying stuff and then it may not happen, but then things might come out of the woodwork. So I'm like, oh snap, I'm going to Atlanta in a month. I guess that's happening. We're going to be there for a minute. You know what I mean? So stuff like that.
It just happens.
But I think like the plan is to stay in Austin, just to bust out these edits that I gotta get stuff out, and then I'm doing stuff for South by.
That is coming up.
I'm doing stuff for I don't know if I can say. I can't say that. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing stuff for other stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you sure.
And then on top of doing my own thing, and so there's like different projects that I'm, injecting myself into. I think one of the ones I can talk about is we're doing a community darkroom in Austin School of Film, which is like my co-working space that I work out of. In East Austin. We're like building it from the ground up. There's an empty room at the space at the Austin School of Film that we're renovating to make it accommodating for film photographers so that they can come and develop their film and make darkroom prints. And
like full setup like that?
So like chemical processes. I mean, because I didn't mention it, but I shoot film and digital. I shoot film primarily like analog. Like I'm exposing like these silver highlight crystals, I think is what they call them, onto these plasticky like material to get developed and scanned. And so again, like the digital camera or the camera has taught me things in terms of like how to use a film camera and why film cameras can be better than digital cameras,
Yeah.
right? And then so I'm using the film camera, and now I'm learning about things that older film photographers did to make their photos better. And so now I'm interested in the chemical process, or how to make a print and what it looks like to scan a darkroom print to then digitize it to get those real tangible qualities of a print.
Yeah.
And so my friend and I, Ileana, who I met at the space, and Faiza, who's the creative director at the space, are planning to renovate this room and make it like a community darkroom where people can develop their film, make like scan their film after it's developed, and also make prints from their negatives, and then also a place where you can scan your prints from the darkroom prints.
That's
Okay.
badass.
Yeah, and so
That's dope. So that's a little thing you got going on.
we're working
right?
on that.
Working
We're
on
building it from the ground up, like
Nice.
literally everything. I think this type of work is in line with like what museum curators and people who like kind of design spaces do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to like a live ads exhibit, but there's like usually one person at the top who looks at a large warehouse and they're like, I want this to look like this. And so that's why I'm drawn to this project in particular, because I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like this goes beyond like photography or making people feel something through images. This is
Yeah.
like making people feel something through a space. You know what I mean?
I got you.
And then also using that space to help other people tell stories.
Gotcha.
You know, more
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah, more trees. I see
More
what you
trees,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it's literally a black room, and then we're coming up with schematics on like how the room is structured, how tall the ceilings are to optimize the space, and have like pegboards and wires hanging from the ceiling so we can hang film. And we're ordering sinks and making sure the
Smart as
sinks,
fuck.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
this is smart.
Like we're coming up with schematics on like how much everything will cost. We did a fundraiser recently, and stuff like that. And so I think that's gonna take up more of my time.
Yeah, I
once
was about to
get-
say, is that like
once
kind of...
once I get these galleries out of my computer, I want to focus on that primarily.
That's smart as
And then I
fuck.
think that will also lead into, I think that's going to provide me the skills and tools I need to learn how to make my own studio
Yeah, I was
with
about
me
to
and
get to
Sway. Like everything's full circle. And then I also want to make my own photo lab eventually. Maybe not in Austin, but someplace else. And so again, the camera is like leading me down all these paths. I think it's akin to a tree branch.
Yeah.
Or maybe roots. You
Roots,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's like it just breaks off into different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And so yeah, that's the plan for now.
Yeah.
Obviously I have like ideas that don't seem like plans but become plans the closer you get to them. Like I know what direction I'm going in. I may not necessarily know like the logistics or how things will come to be, but as long as I'm walking in the right direction, I feel good about it.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's all that matters, bro.
That's all that matters.
As long as this is where you want to be, and like you know where your end goal is at.
Yeah.
You're just getting closer to that goal. Then I feel like that's
and
all.
I don't even know what my end goal is. I know what it feels like though.
Yeah.
And so I'm chasing that feeling.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I feel you.
if there's something that I'm passionate about and someone says something, I'm like, oh wow, that'd be cool to be a part of.
Yeah.
I'm going in that direction.
Gotcha.
And I don't even know what the end goal really is. It might be creative direction. I might even be like a director of my own films, or just being a studio, like just own a bunch of studios, or like I don't know, just be. I could be like an influential speaker or financial guru at the end of the day.
Would you ever want to do like YouTube or anything? As you were talking about how that was a big impact on you as a person. So
Yeah.
is that something that, because there is YouTube, people that do YouTube with their cameras and stuff, but
yeah.
I don't really, I'm not tapped into that,
feel you. I
So
feel
I
you.
don't know if that's, would you ever think about doing that, or is that?
I would think about it. I don't know if that's something I would do. But if I end up being passionate about it, that's the feeling I'm gonna chase. I'm gonna chase that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
And
it.
no matter what it's in, it doesn't need to be a specific thing. Like you don't
Doesn't.
want people to like box you in type of
Yeah,
situation.
it could literally be anything. I will, and I can come from left field with a bunch of things. And
Yeah.
people are like, oh, he could do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice
like,
little surprise. You're like, oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I surprised myself too. Like,
Yeah.
I've had recent thoughts of like designing like clothes and stuff like that. I was
Really?
like, oh,
That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
But then I'm reminded of ideas that I had back in the day because I always wanted to do clothes. Like I was kind of fashionable growing up. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I was kind of tapped in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
And so yeah,
That's awesome, bro. Like I said, like, you know, just seeing the growth and, you know, like I said, I've only really known you for what, like 2 years maybe?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, 2
something like
years.
that. Like, and like I obviously met you before you were doing this. So it's like, you know, when I met you there at HEB and stuff and just saw like how driven and passionate you were about like photography and stuff like that. Because when I met you, it was kind of like, yeah, like I edit, like, you know, it was like how it was with the podcast with me. It was like,
Yeah, I do a podcast.
yeah, like I do a podcast. You know, that's how we're doing. Like how, like, you know, I told you I was into music, and you're like, yeah, like you need to do like if we ever do like an event,
bro.
like a DJ.
Are you still trying to DJ?
I am. It's just one of those things with the podcast, right? It's kind of hard to like you know how we were talking about. It's hard to like balance everything right now, and that's been kind of my thing. Like I've been trying to dedicate a lot of my time this year to the podcast.
That's fair.
Just making it better and making it like what I want to do with it and the direction I want to go, and just being consistent. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, like you could tell people you're gonna do it, but it's if you're actually gonna do it or not. So, and that's kind of like my whole thing with like that mentality happened last year with me like going to the gym and stuff. Really,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
like because I like wanted to make that like a I want to go to the gym. Like I want to make that like a I'm going like 5 days a week type shit. So I would go like 5 days a week.
Congratulations, by the way. That
Appreciate
shit-
it, bro.
That's big, bro.
Yeah, no. So I really do appreciate it because like that was when I got into the mentality of like, yeah, I could do whatever I put my mind to.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of like at where I'm at with the podcast and with what I want to do with this. Just like I'm just so like focused on it. It's kind of hard for me to like my time
Yeah.
right now. Like how you were saying is very valuable. You know what I'm saying? Just because like I have a goal that I want to get to, and it's just trying to get there, chipping away slowly but surely. You know what I mean? Obviously, trying to maintain the relationships I have with all my friends and family.
Yeah,
and,
bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm pretty
gets
sure
tough.
you've gone through the same thing. I would assume. I feel like everyone does when you try to become like a entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? So it's like trying to balance everything, but I do still love music a lot. You know what I mean? And like that's something that I'm eventually I'm gonna get. Like I'm gonna do that because like I've always been into music as a kid. You know what I mean? Like you see the vinyls, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like like always been something I've been passionate about. It's just right now it's like I'm like kind of driven with this podcast, just trying to grow it, trying to wanting to interview other creatives and get other people on here that just can add value to the conversation. But yeah, I mean, man,
Do you know? Are you passionate about DJing?
like I wouldn't say DJing per se,
just
but I
music
would
in
say
general.
music. Like I love music, bro. Like I'm the
I want you to remember that feeling
okay.
because inspiration and passion will come and go.
Okay.
And so I want you to remember how it feels because once I'm not saying you will, but if you start to feel that it's leaving, I want you to hop on it immediately.
Just like don't forget.
Because if it starts to wane, it might be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is just not doing what they're passionate about, or like not following inspiration.
Exactly.
Because inspiration will literally come and go.
Yeah.
Like one day you'll be inspired as hell, and the next day you'll be like, what's going on? But then you'll be like, damn, I should have, you know what I'm saying? Like I should have did it while I had that itch to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not. That's kind of how like it was today. Honestly, like we just got back from vacation. I was like unpacking, doing laundry, like cleaning up. Like it was like my Monday essentially.
I feel you.
So, but like we shoot today, so we had hit you up, and you had told me like, all right, I'm gonna mark it down on the calendar and shit. So I was like, all right, babe, I got you. So like remembering that, and like we were texting like, oh yeah, hey, like this is the address. I was like, this is what it was, just getting me excited. You know what I'm saying? So like with this, like obviously every time we're not gonna have a guest, and it's just gonna be us talking, and sometimes we gotta really think about the stuff we talk about. So it's just finding that motivation, not forgetting what we're doing it for, and where we want to be with
sure.
it. So
For sure,
yeah,
bro.
no, bro, I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that for real.
Yeah, I'm excited for y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Appreciate
it's
it.
It's already nice in here, bro.
Yeah,
It's already nice.
You like it?
Yes, sir.
Like the
I
vibe?
feel good, bro.
Yeah.
It's a nice little vibe in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We usually have Isaiah here too. You know what I'm saying,
Yes,
doing the
sir. Shout out to
soundboard.
Isaiah.
Yeah. wish he could be here, Zay, but
Yes, sir.
he'll be here. He'll probably be here next time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess I mean I have another question. It's just kind of just with your based off of your work. Obviously, is there? Well, what would you say like your hours are if there is any consistent or like is it just kind of open availability type of thing? Like you're really
Oh, like how busy I am?
well like
Which like working hours? Like if someone was like,
yeah.
say, hey, like, why don't you come shoot something for like midnight? Are you gonna be there? Or you're like, nah.
It depends on the budget.
Schedule that.
It depends on the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's after midnight, then yeah, it's got to be worth me getting out of bed.
I feel
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I guess that kind of answers the question.
Yeah.
Like the answer, or I guess it kind of answers it. Like you kind of, it's just all over the place, sporadic. Like you don't really have
for
like a
sure.
set schedule. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how, do you like that? Like, is that something?
I do like it. I think the feeling of only taking jobs that I really want to do is the main is part of like I said, the direction I want to go in.
Yeah, you're not just doing jobs to make money.
Yeah.
You're doing projects and stuff that
I'm
you
really
actually wanna
passionate
be.
about, but also I don't have to worry about the money part at all.
Gotcha.
Because those jobs will be.
Yeah, they'll be. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
those
you'll get
jobs,
paid
like,
well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think right now I'm doing a bunch of different jobs that pay decently well, right? But I think, like I said, I'll only be this young once. I'll only be able to do the amount of jobs I'm doing right now. And so as I get older, the direction I want to go into is like only doing 1 or 2 gigs a month,
Gotcha.
but being set for the month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For sure.
So kind of like piggybacking off of this question like that, like walk us through your day.
Day in the life of
A
Isaac.
day in the
Yeah.
life of Isaac, man, it varies. Today,
Yeah. How was? Yeah. What
Like,
did you do today?
what I do today, bro,
Yeah.
let me pull out my calendar real quick because I do forget. Let's see.
Yeah, you're very organized. I give you that. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
got
very
to.
impressive. Like I mean,
got to, bro.
but
I got to. Okay, so today, I woke up kind of late because last night I went to go see Batman
Okay.
at 8:45, and it's a 3-hour movie.
Damn.
So you got home like midnight.
Yeah, and I think I went to bed at like 1.
Yeah.
So I got up kind of late.
What's kind of late to you?
It was like 10
10?
a.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like usually I try to get up a little bit early. I want to see the sun rise, kind of.
Gotcha.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Around that time. But a homie of mine called me while I was at the movie, and so I was like, yo, can I call you in the morning? He said, yeah. Call him in the morning. It's about this thing that I'm working on I can't talk about really.
For sure.
And he's talking about meeting up, syncing up to talk more about other things and like schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, bet, let's pull up to Dawson School of Film, which is the co-working space I told you about. He's a member there too.
Mm-hmm.
So we pull up. But I also remember telling my other boy, Josh, shout out to Josh, that he could borrow one of my light modifiers and that I'd be in and out of the office, which is the co-working space that day. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to be, I texted him actually. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be at the space. You want to come pick it up? He comes in. He gets there before me. I pull up. I let him, he's already there actually, like talking to the front desk workers. I talk to the front desk workers, catched up with them. I walk with him to the general co-working space. I see my friend Tika. Shout out to Tika. We talk a little bit. And then Tim, who's the guy I was meeting at for the meeting stuff, comes in. I say what's up to him. And so then it's the 3 of us, me, Tim, and Josh, walking to the office. I tell Tim I'll be with him in just a second. Give Josh the modifier. Josh asked me a few questions. I answer them. He goes, I'm there with Tim. We're talking about schedules, yada, yada, yada. We get to a point where we're like, oh, we're hungry. let's
go get something
You know what I'm
to
saying?
eat. Yeah.
Let's go to this Irish pub in the Mueller area.
Okay.
We go there. We chill out, watch the game. Then we get a phone call from another person who's a part of this team that we're going to be a part of, which is the part of the job and the thing that I can't really talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But we we go sync up with him at this social club. We talk there for a little bit, talk more about schedules, talk more about logistics, talk more about these things that we're doing. And then I rode with Tim. So I go with Tim to the co-working space because we carpooled. He drops me off there. I go to my car. I'll pull out a box of clothes that I bought in LA that a model shipped to me from LA so I can make returns to Zara. I go to the co-working space. I'm attaching tags to different shirts because I want to make sure I can return all my items. Mm-hmm. I chat with the creative director of the co-working space because we're just talking about like, you know, different like leadership structure, co-working things because I also work there as like one of the, I think a studio manager is the position. Mm-hmm. And so we talk there for a bit. I leave there. I'm looking at my schedule. I'm like, I gotta be at CJ's place at 7.
Yeah,
so I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
DCT, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm like, I need to go to Zara now.
Okay.
I go to Zara, make those returns. Everything's cool. I got my money back. And then I pull up here, and now I'm here. But that's today.
Every day is different.
Every day is different.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Every day is different.
What it seems like, yeah, it's kind of like whatever got going on today. All right, we got to get it done type of deal, huh?
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I'm just here.
That's awesome, though, bro.
Yeah, and that's why, and I hate it, but that's why I got to put stuff in the calendar, too, because it'll be.
If not, then you'll just.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'd be flaking on everything, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Like I said, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, nah, bro. It's not even like a burden either. It's like I said, I follow where I'm passionate. I follow that feeling. And like, this is one of those feelings. Like, I wanted to be here. You know what I'm saying? So like,
appreciate it, bro.
You know, and it goes for everything. Like, I wanted to go to that Irish pub with Tim.
So you're like, let's do it.
I wanted to go. You know, I wanted to go to Zara to drop off those clothes. One, because I get my money back, but two, because I want it off my plate. I'm chasing that feeling.
Yeah.
And then like having conversations on the way in, or letting people borrow stuff, or like giving advice. Like I'm chasing that feeling too, because that's the direction I want to go in.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, other days it's easier than others. Like I don't particularly enjoy editing, but some days it'll just be a full day of editing at my house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I won't talk to anybody. Sometimes I won't eat, but you know, then I snap out of it and like, oh, I want to eat. I'm chasing that feeling. And it's just me like creative directing my own life because I can now.
Yeah, you can.
What I mean?
Yeah, that ass. Like,
it's like you wake up and it's like, I'm making money today. Or I wake up, I'm not making money today, but I'm investing in myself. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
And then, yeah. And that's just how it works. And my days, they definitely vary.
Gotcha. I guess another question I just got from listening to you. What is some advice that you would give like a young entrepreneur or someone that is wanting to be in the same field that you're in? Like, what is some advice that you would give them?
Yeah, it's cliche, but it's like people say it's who you know, it's not what you know. I think the biggest investments I've made are the relationships. Like getting like being a part of the community here that's in Austin. Whether it's music, whether it's photography, whether it's creative direction, whether it's like black people, you know what I mean? Like I'm tapped into those things.
Gotcha.
And I've reached out to those people who are like figureheads of these things, not only to learn, but to also like gain other connections through them, like learn about other people through them. Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest jobs, and I found the biggest fulfillment through those relationships that I've made. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a cap to the amount of information you can learn.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, literally doesn't matter how much you know if no one knows you know those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could be killing it right on the camera. I could be killing it, bro. But if nobody knows, then like what else is gonna come of it? And and it's not just a financial thing. Like I don't just want to make money. I want it to be sustainable because I want to be a part of these bigger projects and bigger creative things, right? But it has to make sense. I can't do those things if I'm living on the street.
Yeah.
And so it gets to a point where I just want my bills covered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to eat well.
Yeah.
I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to put these teams together. I want to be able to fulfill that creative itch that I have to make these bigger production, highly creative projects, right? And so that's all it is. Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
Kind of like how'd you get started with like clientele and stuff like that? Like how'd you get your name out there?
Yeah, through emails.
You're sending emails?
Sending emails. I send emails to everybody. I send emails to a lot of people.
When you're just like, hey, I'm a up and coming photographer out
Yeah.
of Austin, or like what, cliche shit, or like what?
Pretty cliche.
Yeah.
To photographers, it was like, hey, my name's Isaac, like emerging photographer in Austin. I want to learn how to be better, essentially. Here's the work that I've made. Is there a possibility I can come and shadow you at your studio as you shoot? And then I sent that to photographers. And a lot of people didn't respond, but a lot of people did. And those are the things that I'm now reaping. And so to agencies, I was like, hey, my name is Isaac, emerging Austin photographer. I'm looking to build my portfolio and work with professional working models. Here's my portfolio. Can you send me a package of models to test with? And a package is like just like a collection of models who are available to test, which is like basically like just trading work. And so I sent those to a bunch of agencies in Austin. Some didn't respond, others did, and now I'm reaping those seeds, right? Yeah. And then I reached out to agencies, like advertising agencies and production agencies, the people who are getting the most work, who are getting the highest paying jobs, because they're connected with people who sell products, who have bigger budgets, and who need production in Austin. And so I was like, if they're making the big bucks and they're the ones who are like getting connected with these brands, those are the people I need to talk to.
Yeah.
And so I looked up a bunch of production companies and agencies in Austin. Like, hey, my name is Isaac. Emerging photographer in Austin, looking to kind of like gain footing in this industry as I transition from, work to like freelance working. And here's my portfolio. Here's the stuff I've done before. I listed off other sets that I've been a part of. Luckily, at that time, I had reached out to, photographers, so I was on set at that point. And so I kind of built up a resume. And so they're like, bet, yeah, you can come through. Some didn't respond. Others did.
Yeah.
And now I'm reaping the benefits of those relationships.
Yes, sir.
And then I think I also just leapt at other opportunities that I saw. Like someone would post something on Instagram and I'd be like, oh, I can do that. Or let me try doing that. Or let me meet them. Let me meet people for coffee. I met a lot of people for coffee.
Just on some
cool shit.
Yeah, on some cool shit.
I DM people like, yo, like my name is Isaac. I'm emerging, fashion photographer. I just want to pick your brain.
Yeah.
Can I take you out for coffee? And they're like, oh shit, yeah. And I think that's how they did it back in the day. I think it works the best too because that person to person connection, and then like also who's gonna turn down free coffee or free lunch? True. Like they like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair, yeah.
And so yeah, I've had a lot of conversations over coffee about who I am, why I do what I do, what I want to learn, and whether or not I'd be a good fit for their systems or their companies.
Yeah.
And so that happened too. And now, like I said, I'm reaping all these things, and that's why I say like all these different things are coming out of different places, right? All these jobs, because I'm getting jobs from agencies. I'm getting jobs from production companies.
Yeah.
I'm getting jobs from friends of friends, from mentors, from photographers, from stylists, from, my name is like being passed around in different spaces. You know what I mean? And so like, I think my biggest advice to people starting out is just to reach out to people and just make those connections. Yeah. At no point, and even to this day, do I think I'm good at what I do. Like I want to be better, like no matter what. And like I said, you can dial in exposure on a camera all you want. That's the science. Anybody can do that. Anybody can learn how to expose an image and make sure things aren't overexposed or underexposed. But when it comes to being part of those big teams or having huge ideas or like making sure there's a team that can foster that idea or making sure that there's budget for those ideas or, just knowing the right people, then it becomes a thing where you have to reach out to other people who are in those spaces who know what they're doing. And so those are like the biggest thing. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people do no shade. I've seen a lot of photographers who claim they're photographers who do less than satisfactory work, but they know people.
Fair.
They could have picked up the camera 2 weeks ago. If they have a rich uncle who's willing to spend money on them because they know they shoot, they're going to do that.
Fair.
But now I need to know that rich uncle too, because then if they see now they know that I shoot, and my work's good, they're gonna pick me over,
Facts.
cameraman.
Facts,
I'm not
facts.
cameraman anymore. Like I don't just pick up a camera and shoot everything. I don't just, you know what I mean? Like I have ideas. Like it goes beyond photography, and it's because of the people I've learned from. It's because of the books I picked up, the documentaries, the relationships, the conversations late at night, the conversations early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all those relationships, and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
For like literally any and everything, it's been about who you know. It's been about people.
For sure.
Right. You know.
Definitely.
Because you can cultivate your craft all you want by yourself, but
Yeah.
I think perspective is like one of the most valuable things in this world.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. Bro.
Yeah,
that was a
that's
really
good
good
one,
answer, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Real shit. But yeah, were you wanting to say anything? Your mic's muted if you do.
I was gonna ask, what did you want to say? You specialize in photography, like you were just talking about fashion, or like what's your most favorite? Like I know some people do like landscape and like I don't know,
Yeah. I do fashion primarily, but all fashion is like shooting people in clothes.
Yeah.
Fair.
And so, because akin to that is people, and so I enjoy taking photos of people, right? And I mean, and I'm allowed to step outside of that if I want to.
Oh yeah.
Because I've taken like event photography. I've taken landscapes. I've done all these things. If it makes sense, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
But as far as like on my portfolio, as far as what I tell people, is fashion focused. It's people focused.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I think there's a lot more complexity to that. And I enjoy complexity. There's a lot to like creating good images of other people, because what you're photographing is not just clothes and like an image or pixels. You're photographing that relationship that you've established with the person who's on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And so I know y'all have seen like these powerful portraits of people.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always a process behind it.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
always
definitely.
there's always a conversation being had beforehand.
Yeah.
Maybe the photo is not as good because the photographer made the model uncomfortable. Maybe they commented on their body or something like that, or they picked at them on accident, or maybe they didn't talk to them at all,
And they were
maybe
just
they
like-
have no idea what the direction is, and so they're just kind of just in front of the camera like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. And so like, yeah, people to me is more interesting because you have to have those conversations. And like I said, the camera is teaching me how to have those conversations, what it means to be vulnerable in front of a camera, what it means to sell a performance,
Yeah.
what it means to tell a story through emotion or emoting facial expressions,
Yeah.
facial structure,
Yeah.
body, physique, like how to move, and like like timing of things, like how do I say certain things a certain way so that they understand why I'm saying it. You know what I mean? Like to give an example, and this is like super rudimentary, like this is like one of the basic things, is like I'll set up my camera, especially on film. I'll count to 3. I'll say 1, 2, 3. Take the picture. And it's a timing thing because sometimes I want the person to smile, right? I don't believe in the whole like stoic, super serious model, right? Because models aren't that in real life. And I like telling fabricated stories, but I don't want it to be too fabricated to the point where it resonates with nobody. And so I'll sit there with my camera and be like, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and they start cracking up. I'm
okay.
like, and I get that smile in photos.
So, okay.
And so stuff like that,
You want
never
like
would-
a true emotion type thing. You
Yeah.
don't want them trying to be something just because like that's how it like is portrayed in
exactly.
like other thing. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And a fake smile is way different than a real smile.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking about how do I get people to smile for real?
Yeah.
And then it transcends photography, because like, how do I get people to smile in real life? Like I want to be that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what about counting forward and then counting backward makes people crack up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the unexpectedness of it.
Yeah. They just don't expect shit like
They don't
that.
expect it,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't have to be like some left field vulgar joke to make somebody crack up and like present a genuine smile.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh, I can do that in real life. I can just say something expected that's super harmless and see a real smile.
Yeah.
And then it could feed back into photography because I'm building a relationship with y'all. I've made y'all smile. I'm like, you know, this is like a genuine moment that we're having.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to take a portrait of you, we've already built that relationship. So where I'm behind the camera, you're not questioning whether or not I know what I'm doing or how I'm doing it.
Exactly.
You're just there. And now I have like genuine emotions.
Yeah.
I have genuine portraits. I have powerful portraits.
Exactly.
And then someone else will see that and the cycle will continue because people are different.
Yeah.
And that's why I like shooting with people because people are people. They have different opinions, different experiences, and I can show those in all these different ways on a photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Landscapes, you can't do that. Shout out to landscape photographers. There's an art to that too. I think
definitely.
you can tell stories through that. But I think I'm just more so fascinated with people.
Personality type, yeah.
Yeah.
I see you,
Yeah,
bro.
like learning stories. I think I know a portrait session is successful when I come away with a powerful and enlightening conversation. Like this most recent trip to Dallas, these two models I shot with, they're beautiful. Like they're beautiful women. But I value so much more the conversations that we had because I actually learned a lot from them. I learned about them, and I shot on film the whole time, which means I don't have unlimited shots.
Yeah,
I can't get to those vulnerable moments through repetition. It's through quality. Like it's not quantity, it's quality.
Yeah.
And so I'm making it a point to get to know these people, and not because I want a good photo, because I really want to. A photo is like what's it called? Like a what's it called? it's like a
It's a moment or
after, like it's just an afterthought. It's an afterthought.
Oh yeah.
It's just a natural thing that came about it.
Yeah. You're like obviously I'm here to take a picture, but like, I mean, I'm trying to do more than that. Trying to build a relationship, trying to build like a story. Yeah.
Exactly.
I see what you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was never like that before picking up the camera.
Really?
No, I'm lying. The camera is telling me that I was interested about that, but I never followed that feeling until now. And the camera was my mode of transportation to that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And so now I'm like learning about people, and it's cool.
That is
you know
cool.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I came
crazy,
here tonight. I was like, all right, we're telling like photographers like that because I know like that's what you're into, like that. I was like, I'm not gonna be lie. I'm gonna be open here. I was kind of close minded to it. I was like, all right, like photography. I was like, that's badass like that, like that.
Yeah.
I was like, and as we talk more about it, it's like, so wow, like kind of. There's a lot bigger.
There's a whole like.
It's not just a picture.
Yeah,
everything behind it. Like you said, the emotion. Like
That's crazy.
he was like I told you, he was kind of like our photographer, like behind the scenes type person. So he is the one that's taking pictures of us and stuff, and it's kind of like. We don't model, obviously. You know what I mean? Like we don't be modeling like that, and like we really don't take pictures like that. So like, it's kind of like not hard for us, but like I understand what you mean with like that. Whenever he takes pictures and like he'll be like. We'll just be talking. He'll say a joke or something, and like I'll show you pictures that he took of me and when we went to San Diego. They're pretty dope, man. They're really good, and like you could tell it's like a genuine smile too. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like you said, like when you get in front of a camera, like you could tell when it's a fake smile. But like you could tell like this one, like he like had said something fun to me, and I was just like cracking up and like bro. Just like wanting to become a content creator essentially, and being in front of camera all the time. It's like making me realize like that exactly when a photographer is there to like make it less awkward, I guess, because like a lot of people aren't comfortable in front of like cameras, like taking pictures wise. Like for me, example, like I don't really like taking pictures, but like I want to take more because kind of documenting what we got going on and like wanting to get more comfortable in front of it anyways if I'm wanting to make YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it's like just trying to get more comfortable with that, and like I see because like even in like movies and shit, they'll have like the photographer like talking to the like saying jokes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like on some like Austin Powers type shit. Baby. But
there's there's a lot of
so that's cool. Like that is like how you are too, and like you said, like you're building up a relationship with the models as well, and it's like if they have like they're like shooting with someone, they're like, oh, we need a photographer, they'd be like, oh, we can hit up Isaac.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how
like,
it works.
it's
like,
connections.
Great
You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
building
then, more trees, bro.
Yeah, and facts,
growing
bro.
more trees.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's like, yo, I want to create a body of work, but I need somebody who I know will be willing to be vulnerable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And then I think about all the models I've shot with, and we had a great time, had a great conversation. If I hit them up, it's going to be even better.
Yeah.
And I'm creating for me. I'm creating for art. I'm creating to put art out there, like get emotions and evoke feelings, and tell a story and get other people to do the same thing. And so it just works that way.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Everything
we've shot for 4 hours, like, and we had a great conversation. Let's do it again. It'll be 2 times better. We literally we almost know each other at this point.
Yeah. And
it only gets better. And then you can imagine like the 3rd time, the 4th time, the 5th time. Yeah. And so like, like you said, like having somebody behind the camera that will be infinitely better than like a stranger.
For sure.
Right. And so my job is to get to know somebody in as fast as possible, essentially.
Yeah.
Without making it feel forced.
Yeah.
And so but our jobs aren't too different.
Really?
Nah, you're trying to get to know me. Like you're trying to make me comfortable, right?
Oh, yeah.
You serve me water. You ask.
I gotta make sure the guest is comfortable. I asked you if you wanted
to sit here, so I didn't have to hold the mic.
Yeah, I got you.
Y'all both doing the exact same thing, right?
Just in a different form of art.
In a different way.
Yeah, this is more like audio. Yours is more you're behind there taking visually. Exactly.
And y'all have been doing a great job. Right?
Appreciate that.
Good questions, good timing. Like you're allowing space. There's like the little breaks that I don't know if they're on purpose. They're probably for technical reasons, but it's a good break too. It's like all these things play into making a good podcast, and you're doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, bro.
And so when you do have strangers in here, you apply those same exact things that work to them, and it will. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
For
Yes,
real.
sir.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for real.
Yeah,
Appreciate
bro.
you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's been good, bro.
Yeah. Having a good time. And we'll make sure you're good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm about to give him a little hat in.
Ooh, yes, sir. You already know.
I might get a shoot in it,
Oh, okay.
Sub portraits, you know.
Okay. I see. Yeah, dude, exactly. Yeah. But no, bro, like I said, man, I just really glad and appreciate you coming on to the podcast for real. Like, this was a very informative podcast. Like I said, like we're all pretty or Alex is very interested into the whole photography scene and stuff, but Zach and I, like you said, kind of went to this a little blind, and I was just doing this podcast just based off of the relationship I had built up with you. So it was interesting and very informative, learning about all like the technical things behind the camera and like what you have to go through whenever you're doing a shoot and stuff like that. So like I said, I really do appreciate you coming on to the podcast.
Appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, man. If there's any other questions y'all had,
No, but I was say follow what he said. Yeah, thank you for coming on. I was like, I know, like you're very busy with stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can take his time, like editing stuff and send more stuff.
You only have 24 hours in a day. I'm following the feeling. I don't care. I'm never gonna be too busy for something. If I want to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, for real.
Well, yeah. I guess before we end off, was there any questions you had for us? If you had any, or
snap. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit it.
Wait, what was that one thing I said we were gonna come back to? There was some story you was talking about.
Oh, you're talking about like the story of you like there's some drink you didn't like, some alcoholic drink.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I guess if there was any questions that you were gonna ask us, there was a question.
There was something you said. You were like, we're not gonna get into it right now, and I was like, I'm gonna ask that later, but I forgot. But I can talk about that if you want me to.
I would say if you want to, we could just stop it and then start it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Going into the story you were telling us before we started the podcast, you said you just turned 21 not too long ago.
I did.
And you were saying that you're not a big drinker, but we had a little shotgun here. Shout out to Shotgun.
Shout out to Shotgun. I had a ranch water.
And you rated it highly.
Yes.
Pretty high. Little sunset.
8. We'll give it an 8.
Solid. You know what I'm saying? Shout out them. But you said you were doing you did a photo shoot, or
so
let's get into that story.
Yes, sir. It's not a crazy story, but I was presented the opportunity to model as well as like be a part of the crew.
Oh,
for a shoot that we did for Buzzballs and Uptown Cocktails.
Nice.
And I was like drinking like margs and like cheers in and like having a smile, like
having a good time.
Having such a great time. Like, I was doing that sort of thing. Yeah, I was doing that, and like towards the end, they just gave a bunch of buzz balls and Uptown cocktails out, and so now I have like a fridge full of
Like
buzz balls and Uptown cocktails, and I tried. Some of them were not as good as others. I'll say that. I don't know if they're gonna be watching and be like, "We're not hiring you again."
It's like never again.
Like, yeah, you're not with us no more.
like,
I'm done.
Nah, yeah, but it was. I just got a bunch of that.
Yeah.
And it's just nasty. I think that's what I was talking. I think that's what I was saying when I was like buzz balls. Nah, because I drank a couple at the crib. Nah,
They weren't
But the
it.
chocolate ones surprisingly pretty good.
Fire.
Really?
Those buzz balls or the
Circle.
ones?
Yeah, that are
Yeah.
super strong.
Had you geeking and stuff?
Real low
You
key.
dig.
You said low key. Yeah, them ones are strong, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
bro.
like damn near like a Four Loco, low key.
For real? And
Yeah.
that little,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
They're
little
strong, yeah.
Yeah, they're strong as fuck.
Okay.
So that might be why, and that's what we've been realizing lately because we had the splurge, that White Claw splurge. You know what I'm saying? It's that splurge. It's called a surge. That White Claw surge.
Oh,
it's like
White Claw surge.
the stronger White Claw.
It's
They're
like
like
8%?
8% or something like that.
okay.
So like, and that's just what we're realizing with like. With seltzers and stuff like that, like or any drink, like mixed drink like that, the higher the percentage, like the worse they're gonna taste. And that's I don't know if did you ever have the cacti?
I did. It was
Like,
kind of.
Yeah, like people say they're kind of shitty. So like,
but you
I'm
can't really do much with it.
yeah, it's like one of those things
where
where it's like 7%, like
Yeah.
so it's higher than everything else. So it's just a little like stronger and shit like that.
For
But
sure. For sure.
yeah, that's interesting. So you got to be on the other side of the camera for once. Or
I did.
How was that experience?
It was cool. It was informative.
Yeah,
Right?
It made you like realize what the models have to go through.
Yeah,
or-
exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly it. Like aside from people telling me I need to travel, they were like, you need to practice getting in front of the camera more too,
Really?
because that's what directors do. That's
Yeah.
what that's what good photographers do. They like put
Don't-
themselves in other people's shoes and see what works for them through the lens of a different photographer or director and how their style
Gotcha.
helps
Yeah.
get them more comfortable and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And so, in the cards is me modeling a little bit, and then also acting a little bit,
Okay.
because I want to understand what it means to be somebody else for a set amount of time,
Yeah.
and two, to also present yourself in the best light for a certain amount of time.
Gotcha.
And so, coming soon, I will be taking like acting classes and like building my portfolio
Okay.
in terms of like my image and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I think I need to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I got you for sure.
Especially for like directing purposes. Like I think eventually I want to direct my own things, and I'm seeing a little bit of that in my photography now, where like I want to tell stories, but I want to tell stories that would require a model to really become somebody else, and that's a
okay.
big ask.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and it veers on the line of like being an actor.
Yeah.
And actors do a lot to get
Yeah.
into character.
Definitely.
There's different methods that I'm learning about.
Yeah.
Like there's method acting, there's imagination work, there's I think Meisner and all these other methods that like they're like almost schools of thought. They're like competing with each other to see which one works the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And I think for me, like I need to learn how to imagine myself as somebody else for a set amount of time, so I know what I'm asking other people to do, and whether or not I should. Because if I'm trying to tell like a story that's super sad, and I'm wanting somebody to go to that place, would I go to that place myself? And how much is it worth?
Yeah.
Like y'all have heard about the Joker and like how what it takes to be the Joker and how
Yeah.
demented and twisted you have to be
Yeah.
and like what kind of headspace you want to be in.
Yeah.
If I want to tell stories like that, I don't think I do. But if I want to tell stories like that, and I'm putting somebody else in I'm putting someone else in that mind space, I got to be cautious of that.
Yeah.
Because people go out the deep end too.
Definitely.
Different schools of thought lean more so in like having like terrible mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like it has
Yeah.
like actual real world consequences.
Definitely.
And so, if I want to tell those crazy stories, which I do, then I need to understand what it means to be somebody else.
Gotcha.
And
So that's why you want to get into more acting.
Acting and modeling, I do. And that's exactly why I'm doing it. And I don't necessarily want to, But again, I think it's necessary for my art to progress. Yeah.
Is it you? Would you say that's getting more out of your comfort zone?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like, would you say you're more like laid? Like, are you more like laid back? Like, you're not trying to be like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because to be an actor and stuff, you kind of got to be like very confident in yourself and comfortable in your, you know what I mean? So like, you know, I don't really like to act either, but like, I just act myself, so it's kind of different. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
I'm not acting like someone else, and that's like a whole different art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I can only imagine trying to do that when like you know you're usually on the other end of it. You're like, hey, like I want you to be like this, but like it's kind of hard for you to relate to someone.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I want to know what I'm asking. And then like, and it's hard. Like I'm not just realizing this, but I know that it's hard to like try to be somebody else for a little bit. Because there's a whole, I mean, who we are is like a culmination of our experiences and our upbringing and like all these like small butterfly effect, tree branch like experiences, right?
Yeah.
And now you're saying, oh, you need to take on someone else's entire tree, like their entire path that they've taken up until this point.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot, bro.
That is a lot.
You got to cram all that within a finite period of time where your experiences are literally infinite because you don't know when that's just going to end. You have a beginning, but you don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I'm acting this. I know it's small. This small like cocktail thing is like a very small step in the right direction. I'm chasing that feeling. I want to learn how to do it. I'm a lifelong learner. That feels good to me. That feels like the thing I want to do. I want to get involved in, like, as I mature in my art. And so, Isaac's an actor.
Isaac's an actor.
Isaac's an actor.
Wow, actor, photographer.
Yes,
is there something you can do?
Bed, stylist. Say it again.
Fashionista.
Fashionista.
Yeah, man. It seems like you're a jack of all trades.
Yeah, literally.
Man, I'm not though. I know nothing. That's the craziest part, bro. I know nothing, little to nothing about anything. I look at literally all my peers that I like surround myself with, and they know so much more than me, and it's wild. And I have to be around them.
I would say that's a good thing, though, bro.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know. I'd be like pretty arrogant if I was around like people who didn't know as much as me.
Yeah, fair.
But it's good to know that there's so much more I can learn. There's so much more I can unpack.
Yeah. I would say you gotta like surround yourself around people that are like not more successful, but like you said, kind of like know a little more about stuff than you. And I feel like all my homies and stuff like all know shit that like I just don't know about. You know what I mean? Like it's just like anything, like whatever, PCs, games, whatever, like all the music, all that stuff. Like so, like I try to be like a sponge, essentially, just trying to soak up all the information I can, learn from what they know, and add that to what I already know. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like I mean, you do. You're being very humble. You do know a lot. It's just
bro, you'd be surprised.
I mean, like for what you're doing, at least, like you're decent, right? Like you wouldn't be where you're at if you didn't know what you were doing.
You're right.
People wouldn't be hitting up.
I love the humbleness, and I love you being I don't know anything, but you know,
so real. Because,
no, it's real. You're real.
Because knowledge, more so wisdom, is like legitimately infinite.
No, definitely.
And so if you mark a string that goes on forever and keeps unspooling, it's like I know nothing.
Fair.
Like it doesn't matter how much I can know. Half a portion of that string is not even a half of that string if it keeps unraveling. We're learning new things
Never ending.
constantly. We're learning things constantly.
Yeah, learn something new every day.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a constant moving target. Yeah.
Yeah. So even the smartest person on earth knows nothing in the grand scheme of things because they can only even live so much amount of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can only accomplish so much.
Facts.
And so sure I'm humble maybe. But like at the same time, when I say I know nothing at all, bro. It's wild.
You know what's really weird in all that you just made me think of is that you saying that, like how it's kind of like the person today, like even if they were the smartest person, they wouldn't like know like everything. Is that the common knowledge that we have now is probably like some like rocket science back then.
Oh
like,
yeah.
For example, law of gravity.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Newton. Shout out
Yeah,
Isaac.
for real. They even know.
Shout out Newton.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, you can watch this.
Shout out to
Hey, yes, sir. You might watch it.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah. And then when you think about, because like, yeah, you can think about scientific processes, but like we're learning things all the time about scientific processes. But there's, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, there's an objective truth to science and math, right? And we're still constantly learning things to try to completely understand math and science, which I still think is continually unraveling. But then you think about creative things, you think about emotions, human psyche, you think about like acting, being somebody else, you think about life experiences, and that's unraveling too. Like, what does that mean, bro? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Look, if math and science is constantly unraveling, and then we have all these like abstract, untangible things, and that's constantly unraveling. Like, bro, like I know, like I said, I know nothing. I know that shit doesn't exist. Like my knowledge on anything doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like what? Like what?
Crazy. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, bro, like it blows my mind thinking about it. But yeah, I forgot what the question was. I'm like, I'm shook, bro. I'm like,
yeah, no, I think I was just saying that you.
Really humble.
Yeah, you're just humble. Yeah. Essentially, that's
then I started talking about it again.
you're good, bro. Like I said, I wanted you to be comfortable in space, so like you you could say whatever, you could ramble. It's not like you're just saying bullshit either. You're actually kind of saying some interesting and like. I'm pretty sure like we're all learning stuff from you. Like I say, bro, you're really wise for your age, bro. Like I said, like the fact that you're only 21 and you have that mentality of like what we've all been watching. You know what I'm saying, listening to. So, like I said, if there, you said you had a question for us, or you said
what kind of music you listen to right now?
Kind of music am I listening to?
Yeah.
I kind of listen to the same type of music, bro. From whenever you first met me, like Travis, Future, Gunna, like that type of Lil Uzi, that type of vibe. I mean, I've been kind of switching it up and listening to like old, like little throwback shit. I have like a little playlist, like a little like vibes playlist. It plays like little
throwback. Like what year?
Like
or what era?
Like early 2000s, late 90s, like because my parents used to listen to a lot of R&B, like Joe and like Genuine and like that type of shit. So that type of throwback. But usually I've been really just listening to a lot of Kanye lately, just because like shout out to the documentary. I haven't even watched it yet.
Me neither, bro.
I was gonna say I'm just a big Kanye fan.
Have you?
Me too.
Is it nice?
It's pretty amazing.
Is it amazing?
It's pretty amazing. Everyone says it's like super inspirational.
Is it better than the Travis Scott documentary, you think?
I want to say so far because it's that they've been filming. That he's been filming it since he first started.
Whoa!
Like, it's like the footage of it's actually coming out right now. I don't know if it's ever been out.
No, I don't think so.
But you get to see literally. He has a camera guy that follows him around and he talks to the camera and stuff like that.
Whoa! I didn't know that.
Yeah. Essentially,
it's like in like 360p.
He's like vlogging himself.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
He wanted. He literally said that he wanted to document everything.
Whoa!
And I guess now the foot.
The people that recorded it, I saw that they sold it to
his boy Cootie.
Cootie, he sold it for like 30 million.
30?
Yeah,
nice.
Which is insane. But
yeah, it's the same guy that did the. I'm not sure if you see him, but like the old like, it's a classic video of like when at Madison Square Garden with like it's Kanye, Cudi.
Oh yeah.
And like they're like jumping around
with the Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
Like, when they premiered that in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's like that picture of like Kanye when he's going like this. Like, I didn't think he was.
Hard.
That's the same director. Like that's doing all this like
that's
that.
Hard.
So that's kind of cool.
I mean, I've always been a big fan of Kanye. So just kind of seeing everyone talk about him on that TL and seeing how much of a big inspiration it's just like it like just brings me back to when I first started listening to Kanye, like College Dropout. Like I started listening to him when I was like a junior, so I was a little late. It was like right before he released Yeezus.
Okay.
So obviously like that was kind of like completely flip flop of what I started listening to him. So like,
so I've heard.
and then like going back listening to College Dropout, just like that's the music I listen to whenever I'm like grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like I know where I want to be in life, and like just like pretty much what the documentary was about. Like I've been seeing tweets and shit about it, so I kind of know what it is, but I kind of already knew about it from the story, like from his music and stuff. But like he talks about how like people didn't want him, people didn't want like All Falls Down, like they didn't want it, and then like everyone's tweeting like, yeah, Kanye is just a like depiction of like no one's gonna want you until you're already popping, and it's like we already know that, you know what I'm saying, but it's the fact that like one of the biggest artists that we've ever known about and one of the most influential artists, like nobody was fucking with him until everyone was fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
at one point he was like in our shoes, like just some regular dude, you know what I'm saying?
Dude making
crazy.
music. So
he got evicted, because he talks about
For
that.
real?
Yeah, he got evicted from his apartment. He like took the money he like sold a beat for, moved out, bought an IKEA bed. I remember talks about that. It was interesting.
that's what I'm like, bro. Like
I really gotta watch it now.
That's what I'm saying. He's such a motivation for me, bro. And you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like essentially what we're not making music per se, but we are like how you are doing, expressing yourself in an artistic way. That'd be podcasts and you know what I'm saying. So like photography for you and all that stuff. So it's like just get. Like seeing all the people talk about it just made me like, damn, like I want to listen to the old Kanye now. So like I've been kind of on like a Kanye bender, like just listen to all his stuff. But
yeah,
that's what I'm listening to.
I got super late on the Kanye like stuff too.
Really?
Like I just recently like within a month started listening to Kanye.
Really?
I listened to Jesus Walks. I mean not Jesus Walks. I listened to
College Dropout.
Donda?
The album.
No, the one before that, the blue one.
Jesus is King.
Oh, Jesus King.
I listened to that.
Did you like that one?
Yeah,
Some of them was nice.
it was cool. It was melodic, you know what I'm saying?
I was saying
I really
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
But I just recently like actually listened through all of what's that album?
What color is it?
Man, why am I forgetting? It's not The Life of Pablo, but I did listen to some of that. It's the one with Devil in a New Dress.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes, I listened to that. And that's
that's
hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's a good album.
That's like one of like his most like critically acclaimed albums. Like that like per se, like people like critics and shit say that's like Kanye's best album.
The best Kanye.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's good to know. That album slaps.
Yeah.
And I the only reason why I started like listening to Kanye more recently is because of the publicity stuff.
Really?
So shout out to his team.
Yeah. Like you talking about with like Pete Davidson and shit all like
Yeah, I think,
really?
yeah. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I was talking about it with Cam. That was Cam that came in earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam.
Yeah, shout out to the boy Cam. All this is like a publicity stunt, you know?
Yeah.
Like I mean, he knows what he's doing, bro. Like I don't know, especially like I feel like people are realizing that now after like his whole documentary came out and shit. It's like, bro, like
that. Yeah, documentary came out after the whole Pete Davidson thing,
and then like the whole Donda 2 thing with like the STEM players, like you can only eat half, you know what I mean? Like it's just all part of the plan, bro. Like he's a genius. Like he's a genius, bro. That's why I'm like, I don't know, like you can. I feel like you can never like talk down on what Kanye has done, like fashion wise, music wise, like culture wise, like before he became a thing, like a rapper producer, like wasn't a thing. You were either a rapper or a producer. Not everyone's trying to be both, or that's usually how people start, at least, you know, like because they don't have money to pay for a producer, so they're gonna make their own beats. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like that's kind of like the I don't know. People need to put respect on the man's name for sure, because he's definitely probably one of the most influential artists of all time,
for sure,
without a doubt.
I mean, I'd agree with all his decisions.
Oh yeah, no, neither do I.
But I don't agree with anybody's decisions like wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? He's still I'm
not gonna be
dope
like
artist.
Oh, everything you do is like
okay.
the Bible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that,
facts.
but no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
A cult follower.
Exactly.
For sure.
So what music are you listening to right now, Zachary?
Ooh, wide variety. Lately, I've been listening to.
We love variety.
I've been listening to Gunna.
Okay.
The Killers. Internet Money.
Who's the Killers? What kind of music is it?
Mr. Brightside.
It's the old one.
It's old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s.
Early 2000, like probably like
Oh, so
early
I was gonna
same
play it,
way.
but I was like, I can't play it.
Copyright.
Yeah, we'll show you after.
Copyright.
Okay, for sure.
Actually, yeah,
It's like band music.
You
Like
know
they're a
it.
band.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay.
you know it.
Okay.
I guess I can say it's come white, but it's like the song like every white person knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to like a white club, they're gonna play that
Yeah,
song,
like
type shit.
You can hear all like sorority
Kind of a
sorority
banger.
girls go like, oh my god.
You want to sing it real quick?
It's a banger.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a banger.
You know.
You don't know it.
Let's see what else. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Lil Durk, Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Juice WRLD. I've been listening to a lot of Juice WRLD lately.
You dig.
So
Yeah.
Don Toliver. Shout out Don Toliver.
Don Toliver, yes sir.
Facts,
Yeah.
facts, facts.
Shout out
That's
Don
the-
Toliver. I know you're watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're watching.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
When do you tag him in this?
Yeah, you do.
That'd be kinda badass.
Hashtag Don Toliver.
bad. Alex, what have
Yo,
you been
Alex.
listening to?
That a dog?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it's my homie's dog, Carlos.
I mean, I usually just listen to like sad songs or like love songs, but like all different genres, so like country
Why are you listening to sad songs? And
or like
love songs?
I don't listen to sad songs because I'm sad. you
That's
know
that's
what
a fair point. Why
You know
do
what I
you
mean?
you do listen to like a lot of like
love.
love
I don't know,
and like
man, it's just,
yeah,
I
why?
like that harmonizing.
Let's get into it.
That harmonizing.
That's a
I
fair
don't know,
point.
you know.
Like that's a good question because like he does listen like because he was on Juice WRLD before like
Just
Oh,
like pop
before-
before
Before it's
yeah
hot. Okay.
type shit and like we would always get onto him about that. We'd be like, why are you listening
Bro,
to
we'd be
yeah.
at work and it's fucking rush and like we're busting our ass and he wants to talk about she don't love me anymore.
Yeah.
I still see the shadows in my room. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to bust my ass, not cry.
Nah, yeah.
It was at HEB? You worked at HEB? You worked at
Oh,
HEB?
yeah, he worked at the Pflugerville one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 685?
Yeah, you're good.
He knows.
I don't know. I guess it's, I don't know. It's just, I mean, growing up, I guess like with my parents, we never really talked about like our feelings and shit, like on both ends, right? So I don't know. I guess I don't know.
That was
Okay.
kind of like your
Yeah,
way of like
I
express.
guess.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
good, bro.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I don't be listening to sad because I'm sad. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
you can
I mean-
listen-
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
I mean, like everyone listens to music just because like that's like that's kind of like their way of like
Expressing.
yeah, like a way of like because like when you listen to an artist you really like, that's kind of like your way of like portraying like your artist.
Yeah.
Like damn, like
Yeah.
I really fuck with this person. Like, I'm gonna listen to their music all the time. So
sure.
yeah, but like that was a good. Actually, that was like a. Because I wondered that too. Because you know what I mean,
Oh,
like
listen- oh,
why
why
he
listen to it?
listens to
Okay.
like just because it's like an interesting question. Because like we're more of like a turn up, like let's get
Yeah.
lit, like
Okay.
let's rate, like
Yeah.
Travis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
essentially
yeah.
like our vibe.
Okay.
And like he was like playing like Juice and like like I don't know if you were listening to X like that, but like
a little bit.
yeah, that's that type of vibe.
Okay,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe
like,
listening to Bad Bunny and
Yeah,
stuff
like,
like that.
we'll go on a car ride and then I'll just play like the turn up music. I mean, I like that too.
yeah, for sure.
But if it
By
was
yourself?
for me, yeah, I would have played some other stuff.
Does the music y'all play like change when you're by yourself or in together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
does it change? Tell
Yeah.
me about it.
It definitely does.
I listen to a lot slower music. I mean, like it's definitely like a like depends on the vibe.
Yeah.
Like if I wake up in the morning, I'm not gonna listen to fucking Travis and
Yeah,
like Lil
a
Durk.
vibey,
like,
happy-
Yeah, like I'm gonna listen
Okay.
to that vibey shit. Like I'm gonna like I said, I have like
Beyonce,
that.
Halo.
You dig that vibe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Watch that tone.
Salon.
That vibes playlist, you know what I'm
Watch that great
saying?
song,
wake up
Like I listen to like
SZA.
the Beatles, the SZA,
Okay,
yeah,
yes, sir.
like fucking all that, like
Yeah,
all
bro.
that shit, bro.
You scroll through my shit is like literally the people you never even heard of. It's just like everywhere.
Bro,
That's
it's
how my
funny.
stuff is, too.
It's funny that you asked about the whole like, do you listen to different songs by yourself like that? And I start laughing because I used to piss this man off, and you can ask him like straight up. I used to piss him off because I used to like he showed me a new song right like back in high school. I'm like, oh that song fucking is badass. I'll play that shit like 7 times in a row, and he'd be like, dude. I don't want to ever show you any new music again
He's one
because
of
you play
those
that same
guys.
song 7 times over.
Hey, if it's that good, hey, I'll be that too. If it's a good song, I can repeat.
It was
that
a good
shit the
song.
whole
I really
day
liked it.
type
Like
shit.
I appreciate him putting me on.
That's
It was
fire.
a good
That's
song.
fire though. I like that.
I mean,
Y'all
I'll
share
listen
music
to it a
that.
couple times,
But like I'd play it.
He would play it, like-
extensively.
yeah, probably like for like 30
He
minutes
says
straight.
Not
type.
just like in his ear, but out loud.
Out
But do you remember the lyrics well?
Yeah, you better know the lyrics then. Shit.
That's the thing.
That's the crazy. He doesn't even remember the lyrics.
real?
I don't. I don't. That's the
You
thing.
know the lyrics.
I remember the lyrics.
You know
yeah.
Here's the weird thing about me is that like he remembers the lyrics like that. Like literally, you can play any song around him. Like for the most part, he'll remember the lyrics.
Damn.
Type shit.
The weird thing about me is
That's what's
I'll
up.
remember weird stuff like
That means that's saying something. That's saying something. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like I remember weird stuff like numbers and stuff like that. when the fuck is that gonna come in handy? Never.
Virgin.
Oh,
It's
no.
like you start singing like a old song like around like some girls like oh my god I like this song. So that comes in handy. What am I gonna flex? Hey, do you know what pi is? No one gives a shit.
Do you?
3.145.
Hey, shut up.
Keep it going. So we're getting to the end of the podcast now. I think I have one more question for you. I feel like this would be a good one. Who is your biggest inspiration?
Ooh.
Or is there anyone that like other photographers you follow, or
Okay, cool.
Like
I like
one
that.
of those
I like
type-
that question, man.
you know what I mean?
I was about
Like-
to say myself.
oh,
Oh,
I mean, you can still say yourself.
my biggest inspiration is myself, but I do look up to other photographers.
Okay,
Ooh, it's gonna be a long list, maybe.
sure.
Tyler Mitchell, Dante Maurice, Peter Lindbergh. We got Renee. We got a lot of names that I can't remember. But it goes on.
Yeah.
Appreciate
If
y'all.
I was going through my followers, yeah, I'm following a lot of like just
Like
people who are pushing the envelope.
I would say, is it like people here, people in different
Oh,
states,
all over the place,
all over the world?
Yeah, for sure. I look up to a lot of photographers here in terms of like hustle and hard work, but I think the people who I look up to, their work like transcends like the area that they're based in.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, I
and,
understand.
and also sometimes it transcends like photography itself. Like I look up to certain like creative directors and like just certain brands for their brand identity.
Yeah.
And like the way they present themselves to the public
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like Bottega Veneta, I love that fashion brand to death because of their marketing. Or Jill Sanders, or Marc Jacobs.
Okay.
The Heaven, like Marc Jacobs Heaven, like sister brand, like the way they brand is like insane. And like like now I'm looking at like the way things are designed, like typography wise, and like the way that people lay out their Instagram or the feel of their content of photography, or like the whole theme of their stuff. Like Burberry did like a campaign recently where like they had people like flying and like I gotta show y'all, people were like flying and like rotating in this grass field. They went over the cliff and they're like hanging and they like collide and stuff like that.
Really?
So I look up to them just for like creativity
Yeah,
wise.
let's say
it's
creativity
like
wise,
literally
yeah.
anything. It could be music videos too where I'm like, oh whoa, they did that. Yeah, that's wild.
Do you know who Cole Bennett is?
I do know Cole Bennett. Shout out to Cole
Yeah,
Bennett.
Lyrical Limited. Yeah. That's one of Cam's like big inspirations. Just
He
because
produces Cam?
he does. No, he
Oh,
doesn't.
music videos and stuff like that.
No, he doesn't do music videos, but just like what he's doing,
Okay.
and like he's like our age and he's where he's at. You know what I mean? Off of like him just wanting to shoot music videos and going to like concerts and networking with people, and now he's a whole brand now. So just kind of like what he does, or like what he's been doing, and like him grinding to get to where he is now. I think that's kind of like where his motivation comes from.
sure.
But he's probably. Cam talks about it all the time. He would say that he's one of the big like influences for music videos becoming so popular as they
Yeah,
are
bro.
now. Like if you have a
And indie, because I think before, like Cole Bennett, it was always like Vivo, like it had to be big productions.
Vivo,
so that
yeah.
wasn't even
Yeah.
like accessible to newer artists.
Yeah.
But Cole kind of like paved the way for like newer and upcoming artists to like set them up with like some good ass visuals.
Yeah.
And now they can afford to do like Vivo production stuff like that.
exactly.
And so yeah, he's dope. Shout out to Cole.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to the boy. Yeah, I know you're watching this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay. Well, like, yeah, I just wanted to see, like, kind of like who kind of like, how I told you how Agent Zero is like my
okay.
inspiration type of.
Yeah,
I just wanted
yeah.
to see who yours was. But okay, so it's a lot of photographers.
There's a lot of photographers.
Yeah,
It's a
just-
culmination of so many things and so many styles.
Gotcha.
And
You just trying to take a little bit of each of them and try to make it into your own, or is it you
Not
want to completely be your own? Or
yes, like it's more so that I think I do take inspiration from different photographers, but I'm not like looking to learn like photography style or like stylistic elements from different photographers because I don't want my work to look like them, and I don't think it ever will.
yeah,
And so I genuinely think that though my photography may look like somebody else's, I know that my photography is gonna be my own.
Yeah.
And as I continue to walk towards, like in the direction of where I know my photography is gonna take me, I know my style is gonna be even more polarizing than it is now.
Yeah.
Because that's how I'm still finding my voice. I'm still finding the stories I want to tell. I'm still finding my style.
Yeah.
And so, and when you look at like all these influential, like photographers, designers, like anything creative, artists, what they do, like the reason why their names are so big is because their style is so unique, like every single time.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not necessarily, like I said, I'm not necessarily looking for things I can pull from other photographers, but I look at stuff and I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's like the extent of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, I'm gonna do that,
Nah.
or I'm gonna do that angle.
Add a little twist to it.
Yeah.
It might be some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be some of that. I might do that angle.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
for inspiration,
little-
but not like
little, yeah.
as like an imitation kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's my whole philosophy with like books too. Like I said, like I was like leaning heavy into like YouTube videos and like self-improvement and stuff like that. But there also came a point where I was like, I legitimately have to make my own path. Like I can't just read a whole bunch of books and like watch a whole bunch of videos, because all they're doing is experiencing their own life and then writing it down, and the other people are ingesting it. And so I'm like, I can't take from these books like ways in which I conduct my own life. I can take it and look at it and be like, oh, that's cool. But at the end of the day, I still have to live my own life. And so I'm just going to do my own thing.
Gotcha.
And make my work look like me, because I'm unique from everybody else. You know what I mean?
One
Preach.
of one.
One of one.
Preach.
One of one.
Out of
Yes,
this
sir.
world.
Put some respect on his name.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Your word on it. Your word on it.
Come on, man.
Shit, bro. Well, like I said, appreciate you coming on again. Once
sir.
again, we know you're a busy man. We
No,
know that you got a lot of things
Yeah,
going on. We know,
No,
all the
no,
other
no,
photo
no.
shoots. Just got back from LA a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? Just
Couple
probably
days
flying
ago.
out to Miami in a couple weeks. You know, so we know you're a busy man. Like I said, we really do appreciate you
Right.
taking time out of your day, coming on to the set of PCT. You know what I'm saying? Having
PCT
you,
has my heart.
you know what I'm saying? Having you meet Alex and
What's up, Alex? Shout out, Alex.
yeah, shout out to the
Oh,
boy,
wow.
little behind the scenes action. Make sure we sound good. Shout out to Zach.
Shout out
you know,
Zach.
you know what I'm
Shout out
saying? Thank you,
Whoever that-
Isaac, for
Yeah,
coming
thank
on.
you, Isaac, as always.
Bro, anytime, bro.
Like I said, we did hit 100 followers on
Yes, sir,
Instagram,
we
so we're
did.
definitely gonna be doing.
I'm saying we. Like,
Shit, yeah, you a part of this shit too. We did. Dutch, yeah,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
say that
okay,
again.
okay,
Yeah,
we did, we did.
So,
100 follower special.
yeah, so
Okay.
100 followers on Instagram. Thank you so much. We'll be doing a giveaway here soon. I'll probably do a post about it in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Probably clip this, put it on Instagram and shit. So, like I said, thank you all for coming out. Thank you everybody for watching it, listening to us on all streaming platforms. Don't forget to rate us a 5-star. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
do it.
And yeah.
Do it right now.
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday, right?
See
Yes,
you next.
sir.
See you next Monday.
Yeah. Appreciate you. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Post.
Peace.
I love you.
I love you. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.